To look after you
I know.
because you're obsessed with G-Man. I think you need.
Hello, hello, and good evening. Hello. How is
Hello.
everyone doing? Hope you're all doing okay.
We're
I'm so
good. We're
sorry.
doing good.
Elvis left the building. No, we don't want Elvis
Oh,
leaving the building. Elvis, come back. Come back. I'm so sorry,
45
guys.
years ago.
Everything that could go wrong went wrong this evening. I've got my I've got my nieces with me. We
Mm,
oh, it's been intense. And I can't wait
good.
to have them back home tomorrow.
Hey,
Just,
Will.
just go drop them back at home. I shall be very pleased. Okay, we got Big Zebra, hello. Steve McRae, manager, hello. Dr. Cyrus, hello. Hey, we got Dog.
Mm-hmm.
Dog is in chat and on the stream. How nice.
Stream. Yep.
Big Zebra, hello. Good to see you. Who do we have? Again, hey, Black Poodle, hello, Dr. Cyrus, hey Esther, my dream internet waifu, and hey Dr. Cyrus, my dream internet husband. Hey, Baran, hello, good to see you. Godless Sewing, hello, hello, hello. Right. So, Dog, I'm going to mute you for a bit because there's a bit of background noise. Okay, here we go. So, guys, you're all welcome tonight to this stream. There's a reason why I've chosen to do this stream, and the reason why is you guys know on here I look at content from Christians, Christians who are out here representing Christianity in whatever way, shape, or form they represent Christianity, and so from time to time I do cover G-Man, and recently,
Mhm.
he has just been on some kind of, I don't know what to call it. He
Right.
seems to be on a mission to expose, uh, um, on a mission to expose Christians and, I don't know whether it's, well, both Christians and atheists. G-Man has it's a hatred for atheists. His hatred is so strong that he would completely ignore even the good that come from atheists. As far as he's concerned, atheists are not capable of any good whatsoever, only Christians. And when we talk about Christians, the kind of Christians he regards as Christians, he only has a small number of people that he regards Christians. Anyone who is not in his little crew, he is not a Christian. And so G-Man is out here telling other people that they are not other Christians, telling them that they are not Christians. But hang on, we don't know who a real Christian is. We're still trying to figure out who the real Christian is,
Mm-hmm.
right? So Doug and Phil, who is a real Christian?
I don't know. That's a good question. There's no way of determining who's a good or who is the real Christian. Because all of them say or claim they're real Christians or so and give always say, oh, they are not real. I am real. And can use scripture. They try to use scripture to say, "Oh, I am real because of this." Both, all of them. So it's hard to determine.
Hmm. And you know that some. Oh, Doug, you want to speak?
I was just going to say, it will always be a claim.
Mm-hmm.
No one can prove
Mm-hmm.
that you're a Christian
Yeah.
because you can't prove your faith. You can't prove your faith. You can't prove your belief, or you can't prove what you're believing in anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll only ever be a claim that you're a Christian.
Always.
I believe in God. You're so what? I believe in the Loch Ness monster. Doesn't make it any more real than Father Christmas, does it? At the end of the day, I believe in corporal punishment. I think kids should be chastised for their behaviour. Getting away with murder now, aren't they?
Hmm.
But the Christians had them in tow back in the day. If you were naughty in the day, well, you were slung to the wolves or the lions, or you were killed by your own parents under orders of God, under the God's law.
Mm.
There's no.
A genuine Christian is a hateful person, I believe. They will
Mm,
Mm.
hate. They will hate everything that isn't Christian, and
Yeah.
they will chastise everything that isn't Christian, and they will despise everything that isn't Christian. The reason being, well, the hate. It's a hate cult, Christianity. That's what
Yeah.
yes,
it is.
Yeah.
It's nothing more than a hate cult.
it is.
Mm-hmm. And
And
the Bible promotes the hate.
Yes,
I,
the
I,
Bible
I,
does.
It promotes
as
the
I
hate, even though it claims to be love.
as I've
But
always said, anywhere where you'll congregate regularly and perform rituals and sing songs and praise to anything really, or wood effigy or of a 6 foot blonde, blue eyed Arab, Bronze Age
mm,
Arab. It's a very definition of a cult. And the hatred that
mm-hmm.
comes with it is throughout the
Yeah.
Bible. The misogyny and racism and everything that goes with it. It's just crap. But the thing is, you can't stop it. You can't stomp on it. If it disappeared, there would be chaos on this planet. The planet would implode. Simple as that.
Uh,
That's not a joke, Phil. That's what would happen if you stop
no,
Christian.
no,
Oh
I
right.
was laughing at the comment
Oh,
that you typed in chat.
oh yeah.
I was
That's why I'm
laughing
here.
at that.
I'm here to stop her. I'm here to stop her in her wily ways. Their love for G-Man is apparent, and I'm here to just stop her crossing that line of sending in flowers and chocolates and declaring her love online for him.
G-Man, unfortunately, is not. I'm not his. I'm not his kind of person. He hates women. G-Man does hates
Mm-hmm.
women, especially black women. So and
Yeah, but
it's
Wow.
very
you're a humanist who believe you can convert anyone and make change him.
not
That's how
G-Man,
you
Not
look at him.
G-Man.
You're
not
obsessed with the
G-Man,
man.
not G-Man.
Not
Okay, so
G-Man.
there's a lot to get into today. So what we will do first is I'm going to show you this Christian. I'm going to show you his character. I'm going to show you him speaking about another Christian before we get into the main video about whether he scammed, whether he's a scammer or not. Okay, so here we go. This is a video that he put out, I think today or yesterday. Here he is, right? This is this YouTube Christian comes online and to another Christian. So when one Christian tells another that you are a hypocrite and a con because you talk about my friends. That's the only reason why this person burnt toast is being well, it's not even exposed. What's that? He didn't even type exposed. It's exposed. What is an exposed?
Mm, I don't
I'm
know.
I'm sure he's trying to say exposed. So
Uh,
here he
oh
is,
my
right?
gosh.
He's about to expose another Christian. So guess what? If G-Man can expose others, guess what will happen to G-Man? He too will be dealt the same card he is dealt
Mm-hmm.
burnt toast, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing here, which on this channel, we don't dox people. We don't go looking for anyone's private information. And that's something G-Man does.
Yeah.
We
He
stick
loves
to
to.
what's on the internet. We
Mm-hmm.
stick to what the person has put out their content. We don't go looking for people's private information. We don't go digging. Who needs all that kind of information? It's sickening.
Yeah.
Something that
Yeah.
G-Man does. He needs to be called out. Talking
Yeah.
about he's got
Definitely.
Mr. Parker's social security number. What does he need? Someone's social. This guy is just
Yeah,
something else.
he's just deplorable.
He is deplorable. That's the word. Good
He is
word for it.
deplorable.
So we will watch a couple of minutes of this because it's just 37 minutes of rambling.
How you guys doing today? I haven't done a while. Decided I was going to do one then. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Swing and Briefing YouTube channel. And today, I'm going to prove that, well, actually, I'm going to make an argument and I'm going to prove with sound arguments that Burtos is both a hypocrite and a con artist. In order to be a con artist, guys, you got to be pretending to be something that you are not. I want to look at one of the main claims that Burtos makes while she's on here. One of the major claims that Burnt Toast actually makes, being online, is that Burnt Toast says that she is a Christian. Let me just define the word really quick for you guys here. Burnt Toast has told the community, myself and other people in rooms, that she identifies as a Christian and she's a follower of Jesus Christ. Now, for some reason, Burnt Toast believes that because she said this to everybody, we're all supposed to believe it, right? 1 John chapter 4, verse 1 tells us, beloved, test the spirits. I'm sorry, believe not.
Here we go.
Test the spirit by the spirit, because not everybody who say that they are of God are of God. That is a horrible, brutal generalization of that scripture. 1 John chapter 4 talks about test the spirit by the spirit, because many false prophets are going out into the world. You know what I mean? So just because you come up with a claim and say that you're a Christian doesn't mean you're a Christian. You got to remember, back in the Roman Empire, when Christians were being persecuted by Rome, by the Roman emperors, Roman spies went out there all the time pretending to be Christians, and they were able to deceive a lot of people and to spy on the liberties that people had back in the day. And that's why they came up with the Apostles' Creed, to determine who was who, and they watched you for a little while before they believed your claim.
Apostles' Creed.
But Apostles' Creed doesn't stop that, because the person's pretend they accept the Apostles' Creed
is that she's a Christian.
What is this Apostles' Creed?
Pause a minute. There it says, I believe in God the Father.
That's the
the Apostles' Creed. There's the Apostles' Creed, and there are two.
Oh,
they
are
were
there
done
two
at
different creeds?
times. Yeah, but they were done at two different times.
The creed is just a symbol of faith.
Yeah, symbol of faith, a declaration of this is your faith.
But it originated in the 5th century, so
yeah,
600
but
long after.
There are two. There was Apostles' Creed and another one. Oh gosh.
I'm sure someone will help us in chat. I know the name of it, but it's just skip me. The one that says we serve God the Father, and then there's God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit, and all that stuff.
Confessions and statements.
A creed is basically a symbol. It's a symbol, a Roman symbol, and from the sense of Greek, it's a sign or token. It's an identification.
Yeah, the other one is the Nicene Creed.
Oh, the Nicene Creed.
And then there are about 13. There's the Anastasian Creed.
What?
Which was around. Creed was named after Anastasia. Yeah.
Well, it's also to do with the liturgical rites as well. The Apostles' Creed, it's a direct form of interrogation, to be fair, by Western Christian communities at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
The Apostles' Creed, but like anything that is Christian, it's adapted and manipulated to suit their own meaning.
The narrative.
Yeah, the narrative.
But it's basically it was an old Roman symbol. That's what a creed is anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Now this stream is not about creed, so let's carry on. Mm-hmm. Let's carry on. Okay. Right. Let's listen to Gman exposing others.
When you claim to be a Christian, then that means that you are a follower of Jesus Christ and you go by the Bible. You don't just go by your own personal opinions and how you feel as a person. Okay? Because in the body of Christ, we don't care about how you feel about it as a person. We care about what
Bible,
does the word of God say. What does Christ say? So Burnt Toast is going around telling everybody this.
Oh, by the way, guys, this is the Basement Chronicles. The Basement Chronicles.
All right.
This is the man who has debated Aaron Ra. He has debated all sorts of people. He has according to him, a long legacy here on YouTube. His legacy is long. Lately he's been saying, I only debate my equals because he thinks he is high and mighty. But look at this. Look what we have.
If I was to put a symbol on Gman, if I was to assign a symbol to Gman or a creed, let's say, it would be a skid mark.
That's all
he is. It's a skid mark. Skid mark Christian. Gosh. I believe in the holy skid mark of the shroud of Jesus of the white fronts Jesus wore when he was crucified. Because you can't tell me he didn't shit himself up there.
Gman is a false prophet. Prophet and never sends my ministries any funding. So he keeps preaching to the choir ministries. Okay, let's.
She is a Christian,
right?
If she is a Christian, that means she's going by the commands of Jesus Christ. A lot of you probably wondering where I'm going with this. Be patient. I pwn the Evelyn and Daylight out of the reaction community on this channel. You'll see very shortly. I'm just trying to show you my logic. I could have made a 2-minute video or a 1-minute video and just said what I said and left alone. I'm not trying to show you my line of logic. So she says she's a Christian. So basically, you're supposed to be going by what Christ said is right and wrong. What God says is right and wrong. And Burnt Toast makes a lot of judgments, but I don't understand where she's getting her morality from. I don't understand where she's getting her judgments from, because I hear what she's saying, in all honesty, regarding Shanny and Rev, myself, and other people that she chooses to criticize. Unfortunately, a lot of the things that she says doesn't line up with the Bible. You see, in one place, the Bible says you're not supposed to judge anybody, right? Judge not lest you be judged, and then you be judged by the same method that you're judging everyone else. In reality, it's okay for us to do it. We can't do it hypocritically, meaning we got to check our lives first. We're supposed to get that beam out of our own eye before we talk about the sawdust in somebody else's eye. So she's not starting her stream saying, look, I'm not perfect. I got my own.
Guys, you heard that. He's telling, what's her name, that Burnt Toast is things that Burnt Toast is saying do not align with the Bible. That's what he's saying, right? And that you should remove the beam from your own eyes before removing the speck out of your neighbor's eyes. That's what this man is saying, right?
And he should take his own advice.
I'm trying to pull up a video, right? So we can figure out whether the things that come out of his mouth, whether they truly match with the Bible. This guy is the biggest hypocrite there is here on YouTube. The biggest one. Yeah. Because everything everything he says, you can easily debunk him here on the YouTube. Everything's recorded. I ask myself, why does he even bother to talk? Just shush. Keep quiet.
Didn't he make an old 2-hour video of him judging Reverend Shannon about his slashed tire and what he was going to do to him?
Not to Reverend Shannon, but whoever did that.
Well,
the person or persons who did that.
But you know, you're talking about a hateful guy. Basically, that's all he is. He's just, and like anyone else. Well, it's in the title of the show. Christian scam and it is about the money, and that's all it is about him. It's about the money, the popularity.
He's not making any money.
He was.
As far as I'm concerned, he isn't. Oh well, he got a house for free, so maybe if that's anything, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. He got a house for $1. So
yeah, for $1. What a scam.
No. As far as he's concerned, that's not it. That's not a scam. Oh no.
He won't consider that.
Well, at the end of the day, whatever G-Man says, whether it's right or wrong, good or bad, he's still a big, massive dickhead at the end of the day.
Yeah.
A big
Yeah.
massive
Under all of it.
dickhead. Oh.
Yeah.
But you love him, Esther. You want to kiss him. You want to buy him flowers. You want to help him.
Really?
If he's the last man on earth,
No.
I'm not kissing him. No thanks.
No.
I am not kissing him.
If you knew he was the last man on earth, you would hunt him down just to kick him in the nuts, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Kick
make
him
sure,
in the nuts.
Make sure there was, in case there was another female.
Another female like
you kick him so hard in the nuts that you'd hear, and you'd make sure he could never give birth to anything.
Okay,
and
so hang on, guys, just 1 second. Let me show you this quick video, right, of G-Man accusing someone else, yeah, of he's accusing somebody else of. Just 1 second. I will find you this. The video is coming. It's yeah. Here we go. Right. This is it here. Okay, I've got it here. So let's see. He talks about others. He talks about others. Oh, okay. Here we go. Just 1 second, guys. All right. Here we go. So here is our dear friend G-Man, who is the Christian G-Man.
Because I was going to say, and I was going to do something. Just to give you guys an idea of what I was going to do. I was going to knock out some people in here immediately. Tell you where they lived, tell you where they worked, tell you what worked, where the kid goes to school. I was going to tell you everything you needed to know about certain people on YouTube. Not a good idea. And I thought about it some more. And I said, I know, I'll give away their phone numbers, their email addresses. I'll give away all the stuff that they want to keep private or whatever. But I thought it's not the best thing to do, especially not now, not yet anyway. I thought maybe I should drive over to their homes, pull out a revolver, and let them know what it's like, and show them what it really means to make things personal. But I thought about it, and I said, you want to know what? No, I don't think that's the best way to go about doing it. So now that I'm calm and I had an opportunity to think about what I wanted to say, this is what I'm going to do today on the Sowing and Reaping YouTube channel. Well, if you're going to keep messing with my personal, I'm going to drop every last one of you. And I'm not playing. And I mean every last one of you, from Sabella to the evilest atheist on YouTube. You want to play? We're going to play. Every last one of you. First name, last name, middle name, where you live, where you work, where your children go to school, everything. We're going to see how you like it when this stuff happens to you. See how funny you think it is then. You want a reaction? You want to react to something? You can react to this. Miss Parker, I'm going to put the rest of that stuff on YouTube too now. I'm going to see how your husband likes that. I'm getting sick and tired of every last one of you. Back off. You went to my property when you did that. Now you're going to pay. Right. I don't come to your home and give you a receipt. Religious people are dangerous. I'm going to show you just how dangerous we are. A whole lot more dangerous than 2% of the world.
Dangerous receipt. Is this receipt loaded?
Yeah. You people get on here and talk about how cozy and wonderful your life is. That woman, Miss Parker's not even married. That slut is sleeping with a married man.
Whoa.
Everything that they're saying about me is wrong. You want to?
After hearing this, you think everything they're saying about you is wrong? After hearing this?
No, definitely not.
At the end of the day, there's a small group of people like G-Man and Shani, Negs, Ben Toast, Revs, and that all, as Jeff, as God the Scummer would put it, the lowest of low-hanging fruit.
That's right.
And they just hit on each other all the time. And Miss Parker, she just pulls them all apart, and she has a great show just ripping into them. I think she was on this morning, actually, something about Negs. I didn't look at it. I think Negs has lost his channel. Just for doing what G-Man does, because he lost his channel not so long ago, didn't he? But he came back. I say they will always come back because they crave this attention sort of thing. Well,
Hey, Maya. Archbishop, hello. Sorry.
Hi, Maya. I'm going to mute because I'm going to have my obs done.
Okay, right.
Okay.
See what kind of person I am soon enough. And I still love Jesus in the process.
Whoa,
Find out.
Really?
You think you're funny, don't you? It's a good thing I know where most of you idiots live. I'm going to show you funny. I'm going to show you something real funny. Because your police department is going to get very acquainted with you. Told you, I don't got a problem having a back and forth as long as it doesn't get personal. You want to make it personal? I need to stop listening to that whore, Miss Parker.
Whoa.
You need to stop listening to that deadbeat she's involved with. That crackhead, that drug dealer.
Jesus Christ.
The man who supplies more drugs over there in Nevada than anybody else seen out there. That crackhead is actually allowing her to go on YouTube and to talk about people and encourage you people to do these things. Care about this YouTube stuff. Y'all gonna make me meet you in person. And I'm gonna give you a black eye. That's what's gonna end up happening.
Whoa.
The fact is you did it on my property. And there ain't a judge on this planet that isn't gonna see it from my perspective. That's why I don't care if you play this in the courtroom. I got plenty of justification for it. You're gonna be doing the field. You lost Jade. Y'all about to lose another one. I'm telling you that right now. You're gonna lose another one. You want
G-Man is threatening death on people. He's
He's
the worst of the worst. The worst Christian
Lowest
there is.
hanging fruit.
The worst. There's nothing else to be said.
Rotten
There's
to the
nothing
core.
else. Evil, vile, just and you talk about loving Jesus. Even Jesus would deny you. Even Jesus would say, he'll spit you out of his mouth. Get thee behind me. I know you not. You worker of iniquity. After seeing this, look at this. And he's yet to apologize for this trash he's doing here. Anyway, that's not where we're going. Today, we want to watch scamming. The G-Man scam his fellow Christian. Not only does he dox people, not only does he threaten people, this guy is so, I don't know, the kind of heart he has on the inside of him. He's now, what we're about to watch is not recent. This happened, I think, a couple of years ago. But this Christian who he's quote unquote scammed, he is still going at this man. This man was nothing but nice to G-Man. G-Man is the worst. Let's go. He's the worst. Okay, so we will go and see the video of So let me tell you exactly what is going on here. So this video is from Dragnot's channel. Dragnot is an atheist. Then we have Doc Savage. I think Doc Savage is an atheist, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know Doc Savage.
Yeah, he is.
He's an atheist, right?
Yeah, I've been online. I've been on streams with both of them.
Right.
Okay.
Is he Scottish? Is Doc Savage Scottish or?
I think so. Yeah.
Right.
Got a Gael accent.
Scottish. Yeah, he's like either Scottish or up north. There.
Irish?
No, not Irish.
No, not
that's
Welsh.
not Irish.
No,
Maybe Welsh. Maybe. So, anyways, we've got here Doc Savage and we've got Anthony Weiser. Anthony Weiser is the man that G-Man scammed out of. I don't know the figure. I don't know. Well, quote and unquote, scammed. I can't say whether scammed or no scam. We will figure this out. But Anthony Weiser is a Christian as well as G-Man. What kind of degenerate do you have to be to want to do something like that to your fellow Christian brother? You have the audacity to talk about other Christians and telling them that they are not Christians, and you forget that your shenanigans have been documented here online. Anyway, let's get into the video so you guys can listen in on this and learn about G-Man. G benefactors and deception.
Hi. I don't think I've ever met you before, Doc Savage.
No, I think we've been circling the same landing area for a couple of years, but it's nice to meet you.
It's actually a good opportunity. How about this? How about we do introductions? There's a lot of people in the chat don't know who you are, Doc. They hear about you, and David, they've seen you. So let's start with Doc Savage, a little bit of background and how you found this weird little corner and how you ran across G-Man. So take it away.
Sure. Thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here. So the Doc part is real, the Savage part a little bit more caricaturesque. I am not a physician. My background is in medical microbiology and biochemistry, and I design and build vaccines and biological drugs. More importantly, though, for the purposes of this conversation, I do a show with Omni Eris called Psychic Vampires Podcast, where we locate, lampoon, and otherwise disempower crazy, dangerous people on the internet. And that's where we met G-Man, and that's how I know drag. So thanks, Gary. I appreciate it.
Oh, well, my name's David Weiser, and anyway, I came to YouTube, I don't know, around 2011 or so, and I started with debunking a lot of claims from this atheist woman who wrote a book about her going to heaven, and I was debunking it. And at the time, I believed, at least partially, in evolution. I was a creative.
I may have to send you this video.
And I made a video explaining my position. And Thick Shades and this other fellow named G-Man that I never seen before just ripped my video apart. And then I started having interactions with them.
Oh, God.
Yeah, son.
Sounds about right. So that's just a brief background. If people are curious a little bit more, both gentlemen are easily accessible, as you see here. So both of them conveniently have these email type things. So anyway, both of them have interactions with G-Man, and as have a lot of us. And so when quite a few of us saw G-Man being unceremoniously kicked out of the house that he was gifted, quite a few people, and again, across religious spectrums and positions, felt the need to reach out, and quite a few did. So in particular, I saw Doc Savage as one of the first people because Mr. Wise's contribution was substantial, and I want to get to that last. Let me actually get the screen share here. So this is what I remember seeing in a live chat, and luckily screenshots.
I've sent you. I've sent the video.
Where they're no.
So you can clearly see this is G-Man in mid hysteric. This is Doc Savage. G-Man, contact me.
Hang on a second. Hang on a second.
So just to give you guys a time frame, this video here on January 28th.
So at 11:52. Right? So
remember the last.
Okay.
Yeah. So at 11:52, and it's sped up 1.25.
Oh, okay.
I need to ring my internet provider. For goodness sake, what's wrong with these people?
Okay. All right. Let me.
So, guys, while Phil is pulling this up, right? If I am not mistaken, because I may get some of this story wrong. So they're about to go through a stage in G-Man's life where G-Man was offered a home to stay in. He now owns that home, which he bought for $1, just $1. Now, the people who sold him
that's alleged.
Home,
that's alleged, though, isn't it?
Alleged. Okay. Allegedly, okay. The people who he bought this home from, at that time, they were wealthy, they were rich, they were swimming in money. And now those people are The money is gone. The money is finished. They're broke. Not only are they broke, they're homeless now. But Jim still has the home. For a period of time, he let them move back in the home which they sold to him. It's a mess. This home is just a I don't know what to call it, between G-Man and his friends, these friends that gave him the home, who are now homeless. How do you give somebody a home and you are homeless? How does that sort of thing work? How does G-Man not have a heart? This is what makes me realize that G-Man is
Mm.
so. The people that gave you this home for $1 have no home. So the Christian in you could not say, guys, you need this home better than let me give me back my dollar and sign over the papers back. That's the Christian thing to do. Well, what do I know? So this is the home. At the time, he didn't own this home. It looks like he was still there was back and forth. They asked him to move in, then they kicked him out, then they asked him to move back in, and then finally he schemed his way into buying it for $1. So that's where we are today. G-Man is the owner of this home. But the home, apparently, from what I've heard, is completely run down. Color is shit.
Oh,
Inside, outside, the color is just
whoa.
it's a mess. It's unlivable. Unlivable. This thing, this home.
And then
So,
they
right.
wonder if he has his have the title deeds, if it was written over title deeds for the home, for the property.
I got no clue. I
Because
think he
if he
does.
doesn't, then
I don't know.
if it isn't passed over, and usually that goes through a lawyer, so then you have to pay a lawyer. So it sounds kind of fishy.
Yes,
On his end.
dodgy,
Very fishy.
dodgy. And for someone like G-Man, you're gonna listen to him. G-Man has no money. G-Man has no money. G-Man was in dire straits at this time. So you buy a rundown home. How are you going to do it up?
You know?
How are you going to when you have no money yourself? Anyway, that's really not my business. Whatever he chooses to do, that's his prerogative. Nothing to do with me. But let's carry on. Let's watch
this video here on January 28th. Right. So remember this is part 10, part 9. He was still in the house, and it was like February 8th. So that's to give you a relative time frame as to when this happened. So he had an offer from you, Doc, and can you go into a little bit of detail as to what that is going to include?
Yeah. When G-Man was either evicted or about to be evicted, it really set a bell ringing in my head, because I've been in the same situation. And there are things that are a great leveler. We don't have to agree. We don't have to, have the same faith or whatever. But I thought, this guy is hurting, and I'm able to help him. And based on my atheist amorality and my upbringing, if you can help and someone needs it, you're duty bound to offer it. So I did. And can I elaborate about the offer just to make it totally clear? Because I've had some experiences with Gary's behavior in the past. I made a good faith offer that if he had accepted it, would never have been discussed. It would have been like it had never happened. Of in the first phase, up to $500 for lodging and food and maintenance. But critically, I would not give him cash because I frankly don't trust him, and I think it would hurt him more than it helped him.
Yes.
So when he was anticipating the Mr. Freeze living in an igloo in the forest, I made the offer. If you need it, you can have this. It's a standing fund that the Savage Institute has, and it goes to everyone who needs it, not necessarily people who I like or enjoy. And that's what happened. But to cut a long story short, after making this offer, it was never discussed again. G-Man did not respond to it in any way. I've had no direct contact with him about it. It was as if it just didn't happen.
Okay, cool. Thank you for providing the feedback to that, because this is one of many offers G-Man had, but G-Man was more, let's say, keen on people simply donating to him directly. He actually wanted cash. He at one point specifically said that in one of the videos, and we actually may run across it in the future. But so, Mr. Weiser, now I have something that you have offered here, which
Okay, can you stop for a second?
David, can you?
Mhm.
Stop for a second. So you heard Doc Savage. He's an atheist.
Mhm.
I thought atheists were evil people. I thought G-Man said no good could come from atheists. Here we have an atheist that was offering G-Man help, despite
Mhm.
how G-Man has been over the years. But an atheist is stretching out their hand and saying, here's help. Take the
Yeah.
help. I've got this and this. No cash.
Yeah.
Because giving someone cash who is homeless, right? It might be pointless. They might just use it on something they shouldn't really use it on. How
Yeah.
about give them a home? Give them something that is worthwhile than
Mhm.
giving them cash. But I mean, Doc Savage is is a impressive guy. Impressive. And thank you for doing that, because you're flying the flag for atheism,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Goes to show that you don't have to be atheist, Christian, and all these labels we attach to each other to be a good person. You can be good without God. Right, Phil? And
Yeah.
Doug,
Definitely. Definitely can definitely be
you
good
don't need
without
God.
Yes,
God. You
You
don't
yes,
don't
need
need
no God.
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. If you carry on.
Mhm.
But we also know that G-Man is an e-beggar.
Ooh,
Ooh.
he beggar.
E-beggar, yeah.
He has been known to e-beg.
Kind of what led you to offer this substantial amount and the conditions surrounding it.
Okay, well, first of all, I have been homeless before, so I understand. It sucks. It really does. And that was just before I had to go to the VA. I was having my issue, and it made me be homeless for a little bit. Anyway, so I was in this live stream with Shanny for Christ, and she was griping about utility bills that she had to pay. That somehow she felt the G-Man was somehow pumping up the utility bills, and she suspected he was throwing like parties at the house or something.
Wow.
And I don't know if he was or wasn't, but I've had experience with dealing with roommates that wasn't helping out all that much. So I said, hey, there's ways to get somebody out of your house. I said, well, I mean, if one thing, if you're complaining about the utility bill, who says you have to pay it? I'd refuse to pay it and let him pay it, and he'll get out. And about a week later, I'm hearing the G-Man had his utility bills turned off. He had his light turned on. I went, oh crap! Did I just start some crap here and not realize it? And anyway, so I felt a little guilty about that, and also, I didn't want to see that blast, that blizzard, that winter Arctic blast hit, and a lot of people posted that across the country, and that was hitting at about this time. And I thought, man, maybe I really need to help this guy. I really need to. And at the time, he had been asking for money. He put out a video where he says he needs money right away, and because like he was going to get thrown out or something. And this
Wow.
other fella, I think it was one of this atheist guy. I think the atheist is actually in his handle, in his channel name, that he really respects. One of the few that he does, and had donated $200. So I used an account that I used to buy stuff online, like eBay and stuff, and I only had about $200 in it. And at the time, I was making a little extra money in the stock market, but I didn't have the fund. I didn't have the funds in there, so I had to go and make sure that it wasn't going to hinder my goals and plans that I had at the time. And so I had to move a little bit of money around. But the first $200, which is I had a little over $200 in the account, I told him, I said, you can do what you want with that. Now the second one, I put the stipulation that he needs to get out of the house. I said, look, you got enough money to get out of that dang house. So go ahead, just get out. And I figured my thinking at the time was that he had enough money to go back to his hometown and find friends and family that could help him out, because apparently he's in a strange town with no place to live and no money. So I figured if I was in that situation, this is what I would like to have happen to me.
Yep.
Right. And so I can see the, I'm not sure if everybody can read it, but on January 29th, the first transaction was $200 and said, G-Man, I'm sorry you have to deal with this. I know we have had and still have our differences. I hope this helps. No strings on this. Do as you please with it. God bless. And then the second amount, which is $800 that David just spoke of.
Wow.
Sorry, I didn't put this with the other 200.
Well,
Check my budget, move some money around. So that's $1,000, G-Man. Please get out of that darn house. And it goes from there. So this quite explicitly saying, hey, this is so you can leave. Now, that was January 29th. G-Man was stuffed into the house until at least February 8th. And
I'm not really convinced that secondhand smoke is a real thing.
huh?
Sorry to interrupt, but could you ask?
No, it's just a something.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
just
yeah,
plays
yeah.
on. Right,
It's my
nothing.
head and my eyeballs.
Yeah, I'll definitely put the zapper down for that. So please relax your anus.
Wow.
I'm
Gosh.
surprised y'all can hear that well. That's good. Okay, I got to get set up. All right. On that note, so that was the condition, right? So here's a large sum of money. You need to get out of that house. Now, David, there was a point where Shani was sort of figuring out that G-Man was going to abscond and leave the house after utilities were cut off. But turns out he was still in the house. And I think that was a revelation that you had made in Shani's live chat, if my recollection serves correctly.
Right. That's well, G-Man, I wanted to keep all this secret. But G-Man, the very next day, before I even had a chance, I should have put it in there. I don't think I did. But I was going to contact him, please, G-Man, don't tell anyone I've given you this money. Just get out of the house, do what you need to do, take care of yourself. Because I'm generally concerned about it. And he opened his mouth. I had no idea he did it. I had to find out when I did a little bit of experimenting with Discord on this game thing I was doing. And I found out that there's a Discord thing. And I went there, and then somebody told me, why did you give G-Man money? And I was trying to play it off like, I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean? Who told you I gave him money? And G-Man did. I was like, so I went and watched the video, and I went, and I even put a note. I even put a comment on his video where I told him, I wish you wouldn't have said anything. I said I wanted it kept secret. And he put it out there like I did some awesome miracle thing or something, and I was like, no, I don't. That made me very uncomfortable. I don't like that.
Yeah. But the general point of interest that in his various times of need, hospital and so on, and we all have those, but G-Man has consistently been assisted by the people he thinks want to kill him, which seems like a contradiction to me.
I don't think he's sane.
Can you stop, please?
Yeah.
This coming from a guy.
So now I want to understand something. When I come online, I'm just saying myself, I come online,
Mhm.
I do streams because I love doing this. I
Mhm.
love connecting with people, and also I feel like, exposing the falsehood of Christianity. Yeah.
Yep.
At no point would I think in my head, I need to go to the hospital and reach out to the people on the internet.
Mhm.
Huh?
Yeah.
Isn't that the human way to reach out to others?
Huh? Sorry?
No,
It's
He
the
asked
human
that-
way, isn't it, to reach out to others?
What? Reaching out to others?
That's what we do, don't we? Aren't we social
Exactly.
animals?
No, but hang on.
Yeah, that
Doug,
is how they do
Doug,
it. The
Doug,
methodology.
you're in hospital now. Did you reach out to anyone to take you to the hospital? Anyone on the internet?
Yeah.
Who?
111.
Of course you
111
rang the
online.
emergency number. But G-Man
No, he
G-Man reaches out to people who his audience, the people who he's shouting down at, to take him to the hospital. I don't know, how does that work, guys?
that's
Are
a
we
good
are we
one.
using the people who are listening to us? Is that how
No.
YouTube works?
He's
friends will help regardless.
yeah.
It takes a lot for anyone to ask for help anyway. But we're like the hospitals and things. And I like to, yes, Soren, thank you, my friend. I am fine. I'm no better, I'm no worse. And just so everyone knows, I
Mhm.
will be in hospital for many
Oh,
months yet.
You
Mhm.
know what, dog, because I think the YouTube thing now is when you're in hospital, you reach out to your internet audience. So, dog, reach out to me. I'm come to Norfolk. If G-Man can do it, if G-Man can get people on the internet to come take him to hospital, well, you don't need me to take you
That-
to hospital, but I can come sit with you, dog.
Can't have sexy women coming in the hospital to
Yeah,
see me.
I'll come sit with you.
You'll make
Maybe
the
that's the
right.
in.
catheter. You'll make my catheter ping out.
No, it wouldn't.
But the no, did he the question asking Benny asked, did he reach out to people that he generally um put down,
Antagonizes.
antagonizes, and then
Yes,
he wants them to
yes. Because what Doc Savage said, the people who he thinks want to kill him are the same ones who are
who are
helping
helping
him,
him. Ah,
taking him to the hospital,
she's right.
giving him money.
Yeah,
This is a
and then
case of
he's ungrateful.
biting the hand that
Feeds you
that
or
feeds you.
feeds you. Yeah, or help you.
Wow.
Well, he's one low down dirty piece of.
Mm, mm, mm,
Mm.
mm.
Mm. Oh
So
my
that's the
god,
difference. The humanists are.
that is
G-Man's
sad.
entire existence is tied to YouTube. He doesn't have friends in real life. He has a
Mm.
few family members that put up with him occasionally. Hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
seems so. But
Robin, hey Robin, good to see you. Robin says, I guess if you know them. Well, no. When I need to go to the hospital, I ring my doctor, or I ring emergency services, or ring my
yeah.
family.
Well, the reason I don't ring family or friends is why put that onus
On them.
of despair
That,
on them. You know what's up with
Yeah,
me?
yeah.
Why would I could have heartburn and not having a heart attack. And
right,
they may
and
be sitting around thinking, "Oh, my mate or whoever is having a heart attack," and I've literally got heartburn. So when you find out more, then you involve them sort of people.
Mm.
yeah.
Obviously, I'm
What's
paraplegic
that
at the
noise?
moment.
What's that noise?
Sorry, I was eating a
Sound like
biscuit.
sweets.
I was eating a
Sound
biscuit.
like
Sound like
candy.
sweets.
I was eating a biscuit. Yeah. Obviously, I'm partially paralysed or paraplegic at the moment.
Oh.
I've got 3 months to go. Well, I've got to wait here till an opening comes up in a special spinal unit up in
Mm.
Sheffield. And then I'll be on a 3 month rehab program there. And then what happens to me after that is entirely to my body and whatnot. But I've got friends and the missus. They bring stuff in for me,
Mm-hmm.
bits and bobs I need. Well, I don't want them to bear themselves and come here every day and. Because these are grim places. I don't like having my life on show. I really do not. So I use the YouTube, to get away from
Yes.
my,
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm basically in a cage with my
Mm.
life as an open wound.
Mm.
And as I've always, I've admitted I'm incontinent now, so I actually crap the bed. But I do try and
Okay.
get out. And I don't know how I'm doing it because I'm dead down there.
Mm.
I'm paralyzed down there. So I don't know I'm doing it. Well, I smell it.
Mm.
But it's
Mm.
just it's a weird thing to be, and I'm not afraid to admit it. People do get that. It is embarrassing, I know, but it's just one of them things.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's something
Mm-hmm.
we all do. We're not many people do it in the bed or commode. But I'll get on a commode just as a matter of edge, as a matter of of doing it, and just sit there and let
Mm-hmm.
gravity do its thing. But
Mm.
I've got no pelvic floor. It's but they're the cards I'm dealt. I'm playing them at the moment. But
Yeah.
being having the internet here and you guys is my little release. It's stopped my
Yep.
life being an open wound and having it on show to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of forgetting about things. I've got a lot on my mind. Obviously, I've lost my independence now, so that's just a big thing to lose for anyone. It's not like it's not as bad as your eyesight or anything, but yeah, I've lost my independence at the moment, and yeah, it's quite a horrific. And I've not yet prayed to God,
Mm.
although I did
You
have.
don't need God. You don't need God. Sorry.
Well, I did have a
Just
nurse.
don't.
I did have a nurse one night who said she will, her and her pastor, she will get her pastor to pray for me. I said, please don't. Don't waste your time. Young girl like you.
Oh, why? Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
she did try to. She did try
Proselytize.
to force her religion on me.
Oof.
Whoa.
And I told her she was brand new. I said, "Yeah, you don't do that." She said, "Lucky it's me. A lot of people will give you a slap if you want to force your religion down their throat if they're non-believers. If they're believers, fair enough. You wait for them to say they're believers.
Yeah.
You don't automatically assume they are, or try and
Mm-hmm.
convert them to be
Right.
believers. Because it doesn't happen in America. It happens because they're all crazy over there. Well, here it doesn't. It
And
doesn't happen.
in the Caribbean it happens too.
Well, yeah, but here in England, and you'll find it here in England, the people that are preaching on street corners are the American religions, the witnesses and the Mormons, the evangelists. They're all them Americanized Christianity religions. That's what we get here, but people just learn how to circumnavigate because they're stupid and they stay on the same street corner. So people circumnavigate them now and just leave them on their own.
Yeah, I think in this case now, this is where I need to say this. If you need to call people on the internet for help, do it. If that is the only means by which help will come, do it. Don't
Yeah.
let anyone stop you, right? But in this case, why G-Man's case is different is that Doc Savage said the people that G-Man thought want to kill him are the same ones that come to his rescue.
Yeah.
He has probably rubbished these people. He has, he's talked down on them. He has, made them look like they're demons. But the
Yeah.
same people come to your rescue, and today he's right back at talking down on these same people. This person, David Anthony. You need to see what G-Man is saying about him. The same one who came to G-Man's rescue. You don't do this. People who reach out to help you, you show gratitude.
Yeah.
You show gratitude. You don't, the internet is really good for community, yes. And if you need people on internet to help you, take the help and make sure to ask for help. Make sure to do it.
I mean,
It
don't get
just
me wrong. If I saw G-Man in the street and he was struggling and I knew exactly who he was, I wouldn't step over him. I'd help him. Of course you
yes,
Right. Because
you
that's
should.
part of the human, being the humanist and being different to
But
the shitty
but,
behavior,
but I doubt he'd
things
do
like
that for you, Phil.
Yeah. But the thing is that sometimes you gotta show sometimes difference, especially as a human looking at a human being.
Mm.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
thing, but and hopefully it breaks through that thick skull of his. That
Yes.
way,
and
like
also this Christian atheist,
yeah.
look, In the
Yeah,
grand
exactly.
grand scheme of
Grand
things,
scheme of things,
when
there's
you are
no money.
in desperate need of help, who cares what
Mm-hmm.
religion you are? Who
Right.
cares whether you
Exactly.
believe in a religion or not?
See,
That
at
should
the end,
not be the thing we look to. Are you a Christian? If you're a Christian, oh, if you're an atheist, I can't accept help from you. Then
Mm-hmm.
you're not desperate enough. And
see,
this is
this
the
is
problem. The problem with religion is
Yes,
us
us
and
and
them
them. That
mentality.
tribalistic,
yeah.
a
Exactly.
real tribalistic mentality.
See,
That's what it does.
I believe morals are all are instinctual, and so
Yeah.
is. I believe it. You know, an inherent duty of care
Mm.
is
Mm-hmm.
stamped on our DNA, and to not do and to not care about others, regardless of the position they're in. Um, I believe that you're ignoring that.
David.
You're going against your actual bodily functions, like the Christians do by oppression, sexual, pleasure, and
Mm.
creating all sorts of mental problems in the future. So that's how I believe the duty of care is inherent. It's stamped on our DNA, and for people to circumnavigate that are doing it on purpose. Purposely is
Mm-hmm.
wrong. We all know about the morals. We all know about
Yes.
this, and
Yeah.
they're there when you're born. Obviously, you're taught the extra things by your parents, and that's called parental indoctrination. And you're
Mm-hmm.
taught that. You're taught,
Yeah. Yeah.
don't go near the road. Don't touch the oven. It's hot. Don't eat that. It's dog poop. It's not chocolate. You're taught these things by your parents. And the rest you pick up. And but the main thing is to harm another and help other. You know that instinctually. That's there. You've always had that. That's why people don't hurt you. People know it's wrong to hit someone else. They know it's wrong automatically. That's why we don't do it. Or
Mm-hmm.
when we do it, there's a guilt and there's a feeling of remorse that comes with it. Or if you don't have that feeling of remorse, then then you're either wired wrong or you're just an immoral type person that you've been brainwashed into think something. Nerdy's right, empathy and compassion. We all have it. Anyway, you're muted,
Yeah.
Esther.
And
You're muted.
you know something. Reviewing G-Man doesn't mean that I hate the man.
Mm. Right.
Never met the man. Don't care too much, to. But it's just
Is
we just
exposing
review
the behavior, the
the
type of
behavior
behavior
of
that
some
is of
Christians
some Christians,
who
and
are supposed to be who they've got the moral guide, the
yeah,
Bible.
yeah,
But here,
more guys,
this is what they display, which
yeah,
is
but
Fortunately, most of us will go through life with blinkers on. We'll see.
true.
You see like these war in Ukraine and the poverty in Africa and the deaths, and there's something like 18 children a minute that die in Africa,
mm-hmm,
starvation and drinking bad water and dysentery and things like that. 18 children a minute, and that's incredible. That's every minute of every day. That's a lot of children. But we're ignorant of these facts. A lot of these aren't on the TV every day. A lot of it came to forefront in the 80s with Live Aid and things like that. And Bob Geldof almost went bankrupt, give away his millions because he was hit by this, and he made the world see. And we have our charities. We all give to charities. It's nice it makes us feel good to putting it in, but it's also good to be blinkered from the troubles and the problems in the world, because otherwise we'd all go insane. We really would. And that's one bad thing about the internet and communication, is that you see this if you're willing to look for it. But a lot of people don't. They just get on with their little communities and have their little rant. And so the likes of G-Man, the way he acts, he's very selfish. It's all about him.
yeah,
And him being And that's not the human way. That's not the Christian way, anyway. Or the loving Christian way. But it is the old Christian way. The biblical way. Of just being hateful of anyone else who doesn't follow your
God,
ideologies.
Yeah.
Dogma.
Hey, Jerome, good to see you. Okay,
Hi,
can we
Jerome.
carry on with the video?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Who's got mental problems. I had to be in the VA. I mean, if I'm saying compared to you, oh my God.
Yeah, that's something that was pointed out a few times, and up until that point, I think it was on Tom Rabbit's channel, where as much as G-Man rants and raves against non-believers and people he disagrees with who are theists, he sure seems to depend on them a whole lot. And it's interesting that all of those misgivings go away the second he needs help or money. And so that's where I've sort of picked up on the fact that he intentionally uses people from what I see. And it's easy for him to put up that facade of hate and anger and angst and stuff like that. But he will dissolve any barrier if it means getting money into his hand. So that's.
I would love to have the opportunities that he's had. I mean, like he's got all the people that he knows in all the community. Like he could get a driver's license easily. I mean, I know what it's like. I made a video the other day talking about how I got my driver's license. I didn't get my driver's license until I was 35, even though I knew physically how to drive a car. It was just very difficult to get a car to take the testing because nobody would help me out. But G-Man knows all these people. And I had to go and spend $200 on a class for immigrants. And then they provided me with a car, and I was able to take the 2-3 week class and get my driver's license. But having the driver's license is very important because it opens up everything.
Yeah, I don't know if it's safe for the rest of us for G-Man to have a driver's license, but I hear your point, and I'll evidence that by his inability to avoid being hit by multiple cars, and claiming that only having been hit by 3 aged 45 plus is actually a good score.
She's right.
So I don't really want him behind the wheel.
Well, I rode a bike.
Can you turn up? Can you turn up the
When I was in my 20s and 30s,
yes, please.
The volume.
I rode a bike
Yes,
everywhere, all across Topeka. I came
That's
from
better.
Topeka, Kansas,
Okay.
and I would ride from
good.
one end of Topeka to another. And there was a couple times I had some near, problems. One time I got clipped. One time I got clipped by a pickup, knocked right off there, and he kept on going. I mean, there was like, and the cop talked to me. He goes, "Well," because he's talked to me before. Are you gonna get a car yet?
It's the wrong
Because
answer.
I was riding down not a well lit part of the road where I had to travel down it. I couldn't avoid it, and it was dangerous. And it's amazing that I didn't have a fatal accident. So he needs to get a driver's license. He really
No, he
does. And
doesn't.
he can.
Yes,
No,
he
no.
has actually said what he needs to do, and I believe
I
it's about a
disagree.
$200 ticket or bill of some sort
What he
that
just
he needs to
said?
pay in order to clear up a supposed identity theft issue. He's sort of
If you
vague on it,
stop-
but it seems as though around $200 is what he needs. But what's interesting is that he's saved up over $2,000 for a debate with a random person on the internet that you'll never meet.
All right.
What?
But that's more of a priority.
Yeah, I missed what he said
It's
there just now.
So are you gonna get a car yet?
It's the wrong
Because
answer.
I was riding down not a well lit part of the road where I had to travel down it. I couldn't avoid it, and it was dangerous. And it's amazing that I didn't have a fatal accident. So he needs to get a driver's license. He really does, and he can.
Yes, he has actually said what he needs to do, and I believe it's about a $200 ticket or bill of some sort that he needs to pay in order to clear up a supposed identity theft issue. He's sort of vague on it, but it seems as though around $200 is what he needs. But what's interesting is that he's saved up over $2,000 for a debate with a random person on the internet that you'll never meet. But that's more of a priority than him obtaining transportation. So I thought that was always an interesting admission. But on a quick note, I saw someone mention this. G-Man seems to have taken down the faithful God is a liar. Don't worry, I have it here. So as quickly as G-Man can take things down, somebody can get it. So the whole video is there, I believe, minus the call to Sister Cherry. So
I want that video.
In Discord, we can contact me.
I want it.
To obtain that.
I want that video. I need that video. But it's funny how for someone who doesn't drive has been hit by 4 cars.
Four.
Has been hit by 4 cars
Wow.
and doesn't drive. I suggest he doesn't bother with the driving license. He'll just be a disaster. He'll just be a disaster to the people on the road. No, please no. No, that's not good advice. That's
No,
not good advice, because it's not so much about G-Man now, it's about others.
others,
The
yeah,
safety of others.
safety of others.
Yeah,
They said,
he doesn't drive. He's been hit by 4 cars already.
and
No.
not only that, but his mentality, I don't think I would put him behind the wheel because
Can you
he will
can
have
you
road rage.
can you imagine G-Man and someone going neck and neck, right? They're going, and G-Man discovering that person is an atheist.
You know?
Just imagine what will happen.
Yeah. That's what I said. Don't mind
So
behind
no,
the
we don't
wheel.
want that. We don't want that.
Don't say all G-Man calls to the atheist experience was a car crash, if that helps.
Ooh, it was a disaster.
A disaster.
G-Man giving excuses for slavery.
For
As
slavery.
if God is happy with slavery, if God says slavery is okay, he's okay with slavery. He just that man. All right, carry on.
Okay.
Yes, in fact, sometimes in some streams, I've seen somebody coming with an account saying the fifth car. The fifth car. Someone actually they changed their name to the fifth car, waiting to hit Jima. Some people are just.
He's also got at least 6 UTIs from improper cleaning.
He's just got a lot of haters.
And thinks our community said he had an STD. Oh my goodness.
Okay. So wait. If G-Man has an UTI, how does this information get on YouTube? Shouldn't your UTI be between you and your doctor, kept a private information? How do you start telling people about your UTIs?
He probably did. He probably did. Cheese on bread. I think our community said he had a STD. He always gets these mixed up. He's such a liar. Oh boy.
Okay, let's carry on.
Okay, let's
quite
carry
a lot
on.
to get.
Yeah, he's really upset with me. Only second to Faithful. He's really upset with me. The reason he left that, he mentioned on the last video I think he did. The reason he left your live stream is because when I held up that sign that said that this is how G-Man treats everyone else, that really upset him.
Yeah, but it's the truth. The truth upsets a liar, and that's the problem. And I'm pretty sure enablers, as you all have seen this weekend, are probably one of the most detrimental thing in G-Man's life are his enablers. And so when there are people who genuinely do want to reach out and help him, like I've done it a few times throughout the years, I've kind of reared back on that because I'm not going to pick up the slack for people who are already sort of negligent in his life. And as sad as it may be, I think that sort of my focus should shift from focusing not just entirely on him, but putting more of the onus on the enablers that are clearly coddling him and encouraging this behavior.
Yeah. Drake, could you show the bingo card that you made? Because I think it's quite relevant to the enabler conversation.
As funny as that is, yes, I'll actually show that. I'm going to put it over here. It's in the community tab, just in case anyone has not seen it. Let's see.
No, every junkie or other addict, be it a substance or behavior, needs an enabler, and enablers are not helping you to change and grow and develop. They are helping you stay in your pain space. And Drag has beautifully captured all of the options that we regularly hear.
Yeah, but this from a few different people. Veckel, True Empiricism, Vaughn, even. I'm pretty sure you all know which one's Vaughn's. But these are all the sort of things that we've heard throughout the years as to why G-Man can't be culpable for his actions. But I did want to ask you two, have both of you seen the video that was put out by Brett Keane that is no longer around, but I played it a few days ago?
No, I haven't. I don't watch Brett Keane.
Well, it's a clip that I played where G-Man seems to indicate that he should have stayed in the house longer.
So I saw that. Oh, yeah.
So talk a little bit about that. I guess starting with David this time, then going to Doc Savage. When you heard that, what was going through your mind?
Like, you son of a bitch.
Yep, pretty much, David. You just nailed it.
Sorry. I guess I got my own little impulse control issues, but it's what the hell? They're like, come on, man.
I have only one word to add to what David said there, and I thought, you inept son of a bitch. Because if he had kept his mouth shut and taken my donation as a private thing between gentlemen, taken David's in the same, and kept his mouth shut, he could have had the whole smash.
Yes.
And we would have been none the wiser.
Oh, we had an argument about you. I hadn't even met you before, and me and Gman had a little argument about you. I believe it was on his pretrial joke.
Oh, cool.
And he was complaining about like how he wouldn't trust an atheist.
Can
I
you,
said,
can
well,
you stop for a
I
second?
would live with it.
So you would not trust an
It's
atheist?
an atheist, right?
Well, hang on. Look at this here. Carnivorous Ape says, because of one of the UTIs got so bad, it turned into a kidney infection.
Wow.
He had to call you. You call YouTube atheists to take you to the hospital.
No hospital.
It's just not. It's not computing in my brain.
No.
It's not. They're not. The parts are just not fitting. They're not.
No. Yeah, I do not.
So
Is
nobody is good without God, according to Gman.
To Gman, yeah.
You don't trust atheists. Atheists are this. Atheists are that. But you have a kidney infection. Who are the first people you call? The atheists.
You know, something just.
Listen, these people who helped Gman, thank you. Thank all of you atheists who were there for this vile character of a man. For putting everything aside and doing the needful. I thank you. Because you didn't say, oh, because I'm an atheist. The same thing what Gman would. Imagine if the tables were turned.
Yeah.
Phil, imagine if the tables were turned.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was the atheist who had and Gman was the only one who could help them. You think he would help?
Wow.
Wicked. So wicked.
Wicked.
And here we have look at the excuses that his buddies, by the way, these are the people that Gman considers are the real Christians. Because as far as Gman's concerned, he only has a select few people who are the real Christians. Here, these are the excuses that they give on his behalf. Sickening.
You hear Christians, he's a Christian. Oh gosh. Y'all are haters. Oh my goodness. Wow.
And never mind. Just carry on.
I don't hate Christians. They're quite nice with chips.
I had an atheist roommate.
Sorry, say that again.
He was a roommate of mine.
Did he just say?
What did you say?
I said I don't hate Christians. They're quite nice with chips.
Like
I couldn't eat a full one now.
You want to eat Christians with chips?
Oh God!
Will you put some salt and vinegar?
Well, that's like the dietary communion crackers. I can't believe it's not Jesus.
Oh, dog, you crack me up, honestly. All right, let's carry on with the video.
Oh, we had an argument about you. I hadn't even met you before, and me and Gman had a little argument about you. I believe it was on his pretrial joke.
Oh, cool.
And he was complaining about like how he wouldn't trust an atheist. And I said, well, I would live with an atheist before I froze to death. It's like, and I had an atheist roommate, for a while. He was a roommate of mine for 2 years. He's somebody I knew at the domiciliary, the VA domiciliary, need a place to stay. And I said, hey man, I got extra room. Just pay the utility bills and you can stay there because the utility bills were killing me. And we moved in. We didn't have any issues. Well, we had a few. I mean, it wasn't like you know, like, oh,
Theological
you know,
issues.
atheist, you know. I mean, you know, people have issues when they live together, you know, and quirks and everything. That's just normal. But we, you know, we were roommates for 2 years, and it was all right.
What I learned during the time when I was marginally housed and really quite in a difficult situation was that your real friends will help you, and some of them will come out of the woodwork and do extraordinary things if you're willing to humble yourself and accept their help. So I learned a great deal about power, about compassion, and about what people can do to really surprise you when you need help. And it instructed my future path. So I guess that's, you know, an added aspect to the atheist amorality that Gary always talks about.
Well, my grandfather, the smartest man I ever met in my life. And he was the only one in my family that actually had it. And he was an atheist.
Oh,
and
God.
I miss him. I mean, he told me something. He told me a lot of things that were profound, things I didn't understand until years later. And he told me, he said, you don't know who your friends really are until you don't have anything.
Got it.
And that was very profound and very true. When you don't have anything, that's when you know who your friends are. Well, G-Man had made everyone at least think he didn't have anything, and he found out who his friends really were, and he crapped all over.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
He found out who he could use in that moment, and then hopefully garnered empathy from him later, because he's routinely requested that I empathize with his plights, and I said, well, why would I do that, G-Man? You not empathize with mine. In fact, you've gone so far as to go to the other end of that spectrum and make physical threats to harm me. So why should I feel empathy for you? And he can never answer that question. And so it's always someone else's fault. You know, it should be the dynamic that when G-Man is slightly cold because he doesn't properly protect himself, that no one should laugh at him. No one should go, you know what, you're kind of getting what you deserve on several different angles. And I find that dynamic really interesting, given what I would expect if that were me. And I had to realize, engaging with some of the coddlers and enablers, that he has been conditioned to shit on people and then expect the best treatment from any human being.
One of the very few biblical stories that I didn't laugh at as a small child was the Good Samaritan story. And I listened to it and I went, yeah, okay, that seems self-evident to me. That's how you're meant to behave, irrespective of what beliefs you have. So again, that kind of informs things moving forward. Although when that story was told, I said that wasn't in Scotland, because if it was in Scotland, everybody would be helping. You know, you see someone in trouble, you do the best you can for them, because one day that will be you. Not it might be you, it will be you. So behave accordingly.
Well,
but again, it seems like a very simple thing. You know?
The Samaritan in the story in that culture was kind of like a second-class citizen. Yeah, and that's why he was avoided when he needed help, is because there's like how some black folks are still treated today, and have been in the past. And that's how they look at it, and it's a really moving story. It really is.
Yeah, and you know, when we're in tough times, humanity should, I think, come to the surface as a default. This person who I may not like, I may not know, is in pain. They're in crisis. I'm able to help. Therefore, it helps me to help them. So I mean, there is a trade-off there. But as you said, David and Drag, when Gary gets a good faith or multiple good faith offers and bungles them so badly, it's very difficult to actually assist this guy in any meaningful sense.
Yeah.
Well, now that I've gotten to know him, I try to get to know him better than just him just making YouTube videos, throwing Christians under the bus, which is what I used to get after him for. But I never made a personal connection to him. And I tried with this thing with the house and the money and all that. And now I'm convinced that he's just playing people, and he's appealing to whatever people that are listening to him, that are like in his neck of the woods with the Christianity, and everyone's out to get him. Everyone's out to kill the Christian, you know, kind of belief system.
Yeah.
And so he has to appeal to them, and so he has to put everyone else in as negative as light as possible in order to appeal to them.
Wow.
Just on a very basic note, David, did he ever thank you for the contribution?
Yes, he did. He did.
That's good.
Several times.
Great.
And I had to just tell him to shut up.
Okay. Well, credit where it's due. He did that.
Yeah.
That's good. That is good that he shows gratitude. And it seems to be very odd as far as who he's willing to go through certain links for, as far as who motivates him monetarily or otherwise. But one of the interesting things, because going back to the Brett King video, that based on where that broadcast was started, it would seem to me that G-Man was already in the process, or had already been saying certain things that would indicate certain, we'll say, skullduggery or deception on his part. And so Keen decided that this was an opportune time to go live and then pretend as though he was having certain broadcast issues. Because as I watched him work through the process of going live,
Okay,
it's not
if
the
you
same process
if you
I went
stop,
through, that he was
if you
simply going
stop.
through different windows.
So from what I've gathered, right, David Anthony, guys in the chat, please help me. Let's know how much exactly did David Anthony give to Gman altogether. Can you imagine that someone on the internet, you've never met this person before, but they have a need, and you, who's watching, decide to step in and help? So altogether, I'm curious, how much did David Anthony send G-Man, right? Sent him this huge amount of money because G-Man was in need. And there was an agreement. The agreement was, okay, G-Man is being asked to leave the home that he was squatting in, the home that he was 1 minute they tell him move in, next minute they try to kick him out, back and forth, him and these crazy ass people. And David Anthony steps in to say, look, okay, take this money, go use it for, get yourself out of that place. Yeah. Instead of G-Man to leave, he doesn't leave immediately. In fact, G-Man was recorded as saying that he should have stayed there longer and asked for more money from the people. He should have stayed in that home longer and be asking for more money. He was recorded, he was heard saying this. So this is a grifter. This is somebody who is not in this for the for honest reasons at all. They just want, and that's why even Doc Savage offered. Look, I've got a foundation. Our foundation helps people off the streets, of people who've got nowhere to go. Right? I will offer you this place, but I won't give you money. We'll take care of, we're going to take care of so many things for him. But he didn't want that. He only wanted the mullah, only wanted the money. Only the money. And this is the Christian who, he's the one that gets to decide who is a Christian and who isn't a Christian. So that's exactly what's happening here. So if you don't mind carrying on.
Windows in the YouTube studio, saying that he couldn't figure out if he was live or not.
Yeah, because Brett Keane is a totally 100% honest stand-up guy, not a grifting scumbag piece of shit with a decades-long history of being said piece of shit, right?
Which is interesting, as G-Man has been backstabbed by him numerous times and expects that he will be, but still returns to his embrace, which is amazing, absolutely amazing how well that works for him.
Well, I think what it is that they're trying. G-Man is trying to see if he could score points and try to see if he can take advantage later. I think that's kind of how it is with him.
I think it's a strategic move?
Maybe subconsciously, like his situation with Shanny, his on again, off again situation with Shanny. And that whole freaking video he did with you about the veterans benefits, that was all to kiss Shanny's backside. That was all because he wanted to put her on the same level as you. In fact, he's pretty much said so. That he thought that her benefits were on the same level as yours. And the thing that we couldn't get through his head, and even though many of us tried, is that he conflated the fact that you have a disability with can't work. No, you have a disability and you get benefits for that disability, so you don't have to. There's a difference between can't and don't have to.
Shenny also made an interesting and bizarre point that, Drag has a legitimate disability. It's a diagnosed thing as part of this, resulting from his service. So if anyone deserves any kind of benefits, that's the guy that does. But apparently, Drag, you can't have a disability and carry heavy things.
I'm not really convinced that secondhand smoke is a real thing.
At
Sorry,
this point,
that's
Brett's
it.
brains have completely
Oh
turned to
my
mac and
gosh.
cheese.
So I did catch that, Doc. Someone told me that recently Shandy had mentioned that she seen me carry my weight vest, and how could I possibly have a disability and carry a weight vest? And so, which is at any person with an IQ over 62 knows that disabilities are both mental and physical, and that me mentioning nerve damage does not mean that it's any nerve, like, or every nerve, I should say.
Yeah.
The nerves that I need to carry a weight vest may not be the same
Well,
nerve.
there's a lot of
It's
problems
damaged.
with him mentioning trying to compare the two of you. There's a lot of problems there.
Really?
And it's like it's
Wow.
like most of
That
Shanny's
just shows you.
issues are from her not taking care of herself.
Exactly. Huge difference there. I didn't ask. So just full disclosure, so people know, I am 80% disabled. Most of them are mental disabilities, believe it or not. PTSD, anxiety, depression. You could probably guess that already, just seeing my reaction at certain times. But and every veteran, suffers from that. So that's basically where I'm at. So in contrast, or I guess in comparison, Xavier is 100% disabled, and most of his are mental. Most he does have more physical issues, but without medication, he will kill people. So there's a little bit of difference. He too can carry a weight vest, but he will also kill someone potentially. So a disability, there's a spectrum, there's a range, and so
There's a range,
requires a little bit of nuance and
We have
understanding.
to have medication to keep ourselves functional. And like with my situation, if I don't take my pills, I will start to see and hear things, and I'll think they're real.
Can you stop for a second? Can you stop? So this is the thing with Gman the Christian is so David Anthony and Drag looks like they're ex-military, and they've been on the front lines, and when you come back, the effects of that, that's something that I can't relate, because it's not something I've ever done, but I can empathize, right? But Drag has turned things around. Despite everything, he's gone back to school, and look at him now, right? He's gone back to school. He's got 2 degrees now, and also just recently got a job, right? Trust Gman the Christian to put that, to put him down for that, and
Yeah, I think people who shun PTSD are disgusting. Literally.
yes.
Especially if you're out there, you're ordered to fight and you shoot another human being. Imagine, that's going to play on your soldier or not. That will play on you for the rest of till the day you die. That will play on you. And if you can't see that, if he can't figure out in his head that there is some significant mental disability that comes out of that, then he's just a dickhead. It makes him a horrible, horrible person.
Exactly.
And even just fighting for the hell of it, for your country or because of your orders or whatever, then you are going to be mentally scarred over this. And PTSD is a real thing.
It is. And Steve McRae manager says the reason why they asked him to leave is because they were sending him money specifically to keep his phone on, and he was using the money for some this guy. How do you still come online and be telling the atheists they're going to hell, and your behavior you're hellbound from everything you've done, because in Christianity all sins are equal. So somebody who is LGBT
supposed to be, but isn't.
Sin of light, all the same. Everybody, whatever sin you commit, they're all the same, right?
No, not necessarily. Not according to the Old Testament.
No, what I mean is,
right.
All sinners will go to hell, right?
Oh, right. Yeah.
All sinners will go to hell.
Yeah.
Whether a liar, whether LGBTQ, whether just whatever sin. Everyone will go to hell, right? So
for the
money for the holiday, maybe.
John 13:34 clearly states about Jesus So you love one another regardless of your affinity or affiliation, I should say. And him hating means, yeah, he's going to be safe in a lake of fire.
G-Man is hellbound. There's just so many things, so many evidences. Let me tell you, if there's a heaven and a hell, and on that last day, when they say, "Oh, G-Man, go to heaven," listen, I'll put my foot down and say, "No, no, 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 no. Let's play the videos, the YouTube videos. That guy is not deserving of heaven. He is hellbound unless he asks for forgiveness, and he needs to apologize. He needs to apologize to the atheists. He needs to apologize to them. He needs to apologize for threatening to kill them.
To be fair, if all this is real, God is real, he must be fed up of rolling his eyes for these lifelong Christians apologizing for their sins on the last minute that have been bad all their lives, and the last minute they apologize. God must be saying, "Oh, another one." Why can you be good all your life? Why repent? I'm going to mute because it's all going off here.
It's okay. It's okay. So, guys, okay. So this video, you get the basic gist of what's happening here. G-Man misappropriated funds. So I'm going to play another video. And this time around, this video, you're going to hear a Christian by the name of Faithful to God describe G-Man. This Christian, Faithful to God, is someone that G-Man looks up to because they're a Christian. They're out here spreading the Christian message, and G-Man looks up to them. But you're about to listen. I will do another stream describing how G-Man, quote and unquote, well, I don't know whether scammed, tried to scam Faithful to God himself. So, guys, brace yourselves. When a Christian has this to say about his fellow Christian brother, then unfortunately, it's not good. Not good at all.
A long time there where I did not want to involve myself in this back and forth, but I feel like I should say something now, at the very least, to have it on record. Now, again, this is not an endorsement of drag. I want everyone to know that, just so I'm very clear on that, because you know that you know how G-Man is, and he's going to assume that I've somehow become an atheist, or I'm endorsing atheism, or whatever the case may be. I'm simply doing this out of integrity, and I feel that integrity is important. Everything that I do is centered on integrity, centered on soundness, and to me, it's unfair to simply say, "Oh, it's all drag's fault. All of this is just drag's fault. Drag, that's just the big bad bully going after G-Man for no reason," when the reality is G-Man has brought most of this upon himself. Deidre, you know this. You and I have had conversations about this in private. G-Man's behavior, G-Man's inability to introspect, his inability to...
So these two people, Faithful and Holy Sparkle, by the way, I adore Holy Sparkle. I think she is an amazing Christian, amazing woman. I absolutely adore her. Right? And Dragnot is an atheist. But atheists and Christians can come together and have a conversation. It's not that serious. It's not that, look, we can, even though we disagree on a few things, we can still come together and do things. Sometimes just put these things aside, right? But this is something that G-Man does not have the ability to do. His hate for atheists, hates them so much. Now, the Christians are giving us a description of G-Man. There's a reason behind all of this, but when I listened to this, I was thinking, wow, when your fellow Christian brother describes you like this, then you must be doing something wrong. There must be something that you are doing wrong. You really need to something about in being introspective, looking inside of you. That's something Gman doesn't do. This video was from I think a year or 2 years ago, and it's still very relevant till this day, because Gman is just out here just running riots. Who's going to tell that man?
Fix the problems that he should be fixing in his personality. All of us have personality quirks, but he seemingly has an inability to be able to sit back, analyze what is wrong with his approach with people, whether it be believer or disbeliever, and to say, I need to make adjustments because this is not effective, whether it be in apologetics, whether it be in just simple relationship with people. He seems to have this inability to be able to sit back, check himself, and realize, I don't need to be blaming anyone else. This is my fault. I need to fall back. I should readjust accordingly. I should take some time off. He has an inability to do that, right? Deidre, you and I have talked about this, and I know what your thoughts are, right? Even if I don't totally agree with your thoughts, right? But we can all agree that Gman has behaved poorly with believer and disbeliever alike, correct?
Yeah. It's like he has impulse control issues.
Right. Now, Drag, you and I have had multiple conversations on this topic. And one of the things, you can tell the audience out there, what has been my viewpoint of the situation?
Oh, man. The situation is such that you have somebody like Gman who claims to be a believer in Christ, but left, right, and center is seemingly doing more damage than good. And that throughout the times that you and other brothers and sisters in Christ have given him opportunities, he has only spat in your faces. Wow. And so that, I'd probably say, over the course of us, talking back and forth, has been somewhat like the consistent message that you have expressed to me up until fairly recently, where you've let him know that I want no contact with you because your behavior has not changed at all as a supposed brother in Christ.
Mm-hmm. I want to say this right now. I don't care. Someone said in the chat, you have just been put on notice. He is going to put you on his main channel for being here. First of all, I could care less what he does on his main channel. He gets less viewers than I do, and he has more subscribers than I do. And the reason why he's getting less viewers is precisely because the content of his channel has gone down significantly. And let me say why it's gone down significantly. It's not because he's a Christian, and it's not because he is presenting typical theist arguments. No, it's the other way around. He's possibly the worst representative in the community of the Christian faith that I personally know of. I'm sure there are probably people
pretty bad.
Say that again.
I said Vigilant, Mario, and Channy's pretty bad, but yeah, he's one of the worst.
Okay, you know what,
guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so Gman accuses atheists of there's a word the word has skipped me. What do you call that word when someone tries to defame? Right. He accuses atheists of defaming him. Now, here I'm reviewing videos of other people. I'm looking at the claims of others, right, who have had interactions with this man, who know this man. So I don't have to add or subtract. I just listen to them and say exactly what they're saying, or give context to the things that is going on here, right? So no one needs to defame. No one needs to say things that aren't true. There's a lot on the internet. There's so much about Gman. It's unbelievable. The things that you will find that tell you about this person's character. And yet, he's still, he wonders why people just don't take him seriously. because he has a long history of being a very vile, cruel, evil, wicked man. But yet he's a Christian. Yet he's still out there telling the atheists, you that don't believe, you're going to hell.
Okay, let me take that back. He's one of the worst. He's in the top 10 worst apologists, in my personal
let me
opinion.
take that back.
I have seen
let
him
me
make
take that
some
back.
of the worst arguments
Wait,
ever. Not
he
because
said, that's a good clip. That I need to clip that because that is good. He said what? He's the worst.
Readjust accordingly. I should take some time off. He has an inability to do that, right? Deidre, you and I have talked about this, and I know what your thoughts are, right? Even if I don't totally agree with your thoughts, right? But we can all agree that G-Man has behaved poorly with believer and disbeliever alike, correct?
Yeah, it's like he has impulse control issues.
Right. Now, Drac, you and I have had multiple conversations on this topic, and one of the things you can tell the audience out there, what has been my viewpoint of the situation?
Oh man, the situation is such that you have somebody like G-Man who claims to be a believer in Christ, but left, right, and center is seemingly doing more damage than good. And that throughout the times that you and other brothers and sisters in Christ have given him opportunities, he has only spat in your faces. And so that, I'd probably say, over the course of us, talking back and forth, has been somewhat like the consistent message that you have expressed to me up until fairly recently, where you let him know that I want no contact with you because your behavior has not changed at all as a supposed brother in Christ.
I want to say this right now. I don't care. Someone said in the chat, you have just been put on notice. He is going to put you on his main channel for being here. First of all, I could care less what he does on his main channel. He gets less viewers than I do, and he has more subscribers than I do. And the reason why he's getting less viewers is precisely because the content of his channel has gone down significantly. And let me say why it's gone down significantly. It's not because he's a Christian, and it's not because he is presenting typical theist arguments. No, it's the other way around. He's possibly the worst representative in the community of the Christian faith that I personally know of. I'm sure there are probably people
pretty bad.
Whoa. The worst representative in the community of Christians online that he knows about. That is G-Man. You would think that this was 2 years ago, and now that things would have somehow changed. You would think that, he has improved. Unfortunately, it's just going downhill. At this time, G-Man hadn't threatened to kill atheists. Maybe he has, I don't know. Maybe he did then, I don't know. But right now, only a few weeks ago, a few months ago, G-Man was threatening to get a revolver and show up at people's doors and shoot them. He was also threatening to kill them and bury them 20 feet below ground. He has gotten worse since that statement was made. Look, Christians need to do something, because G-Man is damaging Christianity. Well, I love it. I love it for Christianity, though. I do.
See, I always see G-Man's an egotist. He was once a popular guy on YouTube with his beliefs, and he was on every channel debating this, debating that. But obviously, all of a sudden, he's become a liability to people, and he has got a lot of haters now. I mean, look at you; you're always showing them, but there's also many others who are always picking at him as well, which I think he deserves, because but to lose that status, it can't be good for him. It's been an egotist, absolutely not. I mean, so he probably will last year, but he is a horrible person. But again, you wouldn't step over him if he was in trouble. I've got nothing against Christians. I never have done, never will do. But when it's when they force their try and force their beliefs on me, they're going to get told in no uncertain terms, to piss off.
That's right. Yes, exactly. Okay, let's hear the rest of this. My goodness, the worst.
Say that again.
I said Vigilant, Mario, and Channy's pretty bad, but yeah, he's one of the worst.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, okay. let me take that back. He's one of the worst. He's in the top 10 worst apologists, in my personal opinion. I have seen him make some of the worst arguments ever, not because I think I'm better than him. It's not even like that. I simply believe his arguments, believe it or not, are bad primarily because of his tone, his approach. He doesn't understand. How can I put this? A lot of you would disagree with Metzlick, right? But while Metzlick can be at times he can be considered annoying by some people, you have to admit that he presents his arguments intelligently. He tries his best to approach it with a certain tone, even tone. Sure. He may not be consistent in that tone all the time, but he at least tries. Gman, on the other hand, consistently approaches conversations with anybody. It doesn't matter if you're a disbeliever, if you're, I mean, you could be a Hebrew Israelite, you could be an atheist, you can even be a Christian, you can be a fellow believer, and he still approaches the conversation in the most condescending fashion possible. I mean, he doesn't understand like etiquette. I guess that's the only way I could describe it. He doesn't understand proper etiquette in conversation. He doesn't understand how to properly formulate questions.
What he kind of reminds me of is, you know, the kid in class that figures out like the only way that he can get attention is through negative attention. So like he like will throw things, you know, or like it's the kid that like shoots the rubber band constantly. It's like that to me. Like he can't. And the problem is it's not as innocent. It can be really malicious sometimes and very hurtful. But like, what's weird is like, I've always thought it was fascinating that like he has a bunch of people around him that coddled it, and I never quite understood that. Like instead of redirecting him, like I understand if he has behavior issues or impulse issues, but like it was always kind of weird how they would circle the wagons and be like, this is fine, this is okay. And I just think that's bizarre. And then, you know, when he like puts down, I'll use Sabella as an example. When he puts down Sabella in some of the most cruel ways I've seen. Yeah, some of the most nasty, cruel ways I've seen. I'm like, wow, like this is true malice. This isn't just like, you know, he, you know, I'm a wrestler and this is just big talk. This is actual malice. And that blows my mind. And you know, like Sabella and I have our differences, but like she's a fucking human.
Exactly.
The way I look
I
at
didn't mean to swear. I'm sorry. I'm a baddie.
Yeah, I get it. The way I look at it is I didn't begin to see the side of Gman until 2018 drag. So back when, you know, Shield Squad and Soldiers of God, that was my collective. When we were doing ministry to the Hebrew Israelites, there was a time there where Gman seemed to have fallen back from interacting with atheists, and we were doing apologetics to towards the Hebrew Israelites. He with Shield Squad and myself and my collective, Soldiers of God, and so we were doing apologetics separately, but yet we were still, I guess you could say, we worked. Members of my collective would work with members of his collective. His collective was headed up by Vocab Malone, and he and I were on good terms. When the falling out happened between Shield Squad and himself, we were on good terms. There were no issues between us. And he decided to attack me because of his issues with them, which makes absolutely positively no sense. Why would you attack me of all people if I had nothing to do with your spat with this other collective? Now, he may argue.
You know, I think the Christians involved here, shame on these people. G-Man and all the people that mollycoddle him. Shame on all of them. I know some of them now have walked away from G-Man. They've you know, they've since realized. But it just goes to show that Christianity, you know, because there's this us and them mentality. The outsiders, we're the insiders. We've got to protect ourselves, even when we're doing wrong. And that's why you will have priests, the priests who molest young children, rape young children, instead of them to be reprimanded, instead of them to get any form of punishment, what happens? The victims then become they accuse the victims of things. They turn it around, right, on the victim. Then the priest just maybe gets moved from one place to another place, mollycoddle them. And that's why evil thrives in religion. That's why. You wanted to say something?
I was just going to say about G-Man, because half the time I don't blame him. I don't hold him to blame, even though he is a nasty piece of work. You know, he's got himself into a position where when he doesn't understand anything, he doesn't understand much because he is as thick as pig shit. But when he doesn't understand it, he will lash out irrationally, because that's the only defense mechanism he knows. And you know, it's basically the sort of, is it because I was black sort of mentality that he will turn to. Not like the black, but you know what I mean. That's the go-to thing.
Yeah, he
pointing
does
out
that.
you're,
He does that. You pull out the race card. Yeah.
And I think well, no, it's not even the race card. It's just it's that type of mentality where if you don't understand, you will lash out with an irrational, stupid, pointless question like, "Is it because I is black?" It's got not. That's just I was just using that as an example, but that's just a defense mechanism that a lot of stupid people have, and that's why I don't really blame G-Man for a lot of his outbursts, because he is a fucking idiot. He hasn't got a clue about much. He's probably got a very low IQ. He does treat people as if he's stepped on them, and he has lost that status. He has lost that status now. He has no longer, and you know, it's tough on him.
And guys, sorry to interrupt. Carry on.
I'm just going to say, other than that, it doesn't mean I hate him.
No.
But he is a fucking dilbert, and he shouldn't be allowed to. And if he can't understand why all these channels are against him, then he needs to look in the fucking mirror and look back at his videos and his lashings out at other human beings. He's not a nice person. I doubt he ever has been. Maybe he's some sort of victim when he was a child or whatever. It doesn't matter. He needs to sort his life out and be nice for once.
Exactly.
And be an advocate for Jesus that he says he is, rather than the piece of shit that we know he is. Go on, carry on.
Yeah, I was going to say something, but I've lost my train of thought. So we will just carry on. Well,
the whole reason there was an other collective was because a split took place between us. And yes, there was a split that took place between us, but we did not stop talking to each other altogether. And eventually I was able to reconcile with members of that collective, and things were good leading up to the event that took place between Shield Squad and himself. For whatever reason, he decided to toss me under the bus for something completely unrelated that had already been squashed between us almost half a year before. But he decides to bring that into the equation and attack me. That made absolutely no sense. Then he decides to go on a Hebrew Israelite radio show to essentially toss me and others under the bus. Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
Tossing his fellow Christians under the bus.
If a person is going to proclaim to be practicing Matthew 18, and they believe that something should be rectified in private, as you'll see in many cases Veko doing, why was G-Man, if he felt that I offended him, even though I didn't do anything to this man. In 2018, we had no issues leading up to that problem that he had with Shield Squad. I wasn't even in his group. But if he had an issue, why didn't he practice Matthew 18 with me? Why didn't he go to me in private to have a conversation about it? Why did he decide to put me on blast? Quote unquote, put me on blast. Let me put it that way. I wish you could see the air quotes. I'm going to put that in quotation marks. Put me on blast over something that I had nothing to do with, which then led me to bring Dragnet on my channel when I did my Addressing G-Man part 2. In fact, I did a part 1 with Veckel. Veckel was with me in that discussion. Veckel publicly rebuked G-Man. He felt that he was wrong for
Answer to the question: G-Man is a hypocrite, bloody hypocrite. When it suits him, he defends Christians. When it doesn't suit him, he doesn't. He just throws them under the bus. He did a video accusing a fellow Christian, "Oh, you are not a Christian." G-Man has defended child. Well, this guy, I don't know. He didn't abuse children as such. I think he was streaming the abuse of children. Matt Bell, the case, I think it's in Scotland or somewhere. G-Man defended this known person, this person who was had been convicted of this heinous crime against children because he identified as a Christian. G-Man defended him. G-Man right now is defending child abusers, his friends, Shani and Rev. Shani and Rev have had the children taken away because those children were not being cared for. Rev hit a 12-year-old autistic child, and G-Man defends these people. G-Man defends them so much so that he's on the attack of anyone who speaks up against these people. Can you imagine? These are the people that are going to be sitting on the right hand of Jesus. People who defend child abusers. People who defend. Can you imagine someone beating a 12-year-old autistic child? Who does something like that? Why would you defend such an act? Why would you defend somebody who does something? Only G-Man would.
Yeah. Also, Esther, Matt Bell is also a convicted paedophile. He's literally convicted for it. There's actually debated why did it take so long to arrest the man. I'd have to Google it. Yeah, he's live streaming it. He's from the UK, obviously, it's Scotland. Yeah, it took him a while, but yeah, he got convicted for it in the end. He is a nonce.
Of course he is. Come on. You know what, guys? I'm going to do another stream on this abuse of these young children in the care of these people at some point. I'm going to cover that. How does anyone defend child abusers? Both mother and stepfather. Child abuse. This is not this is not alleged. We're not alleging. This is known fact. The Rev opened his mouth and said, "I beat a 12-year-old autistic child." And then, because he is a Christian, our dear friend G-Man defends, goes to war for him, stands for him and says, "No, I will defend this man." It's crazy. Sorry, love.
I said
Hey, people, Thulu, thank you very much. Sorry, love, but Matt Bell paid for those crimes to happen for his vicarious pleasure. I don't know the details of what Matt Bell did. I don't know what on earth that was all about. I don't know. I really don't want to know. It's just horrendous.
Well, it's Steve McRae manager. He basically directed the live streams. He paid to direct these live streams to have the horrendous things done to these children. His say so, and he obviously stream this live. Yeah, he is a. Hi, Cynthia.
And Matt Bell was a Christian.
Well, yeah, we know pedophilia runs throughout any human being. It doesn't, whether you're Christian or not. It doesn't make it any different, any better just because you're a Christian. It's a wrong thing to do. But the Catholic Church, and there's wrong ones in every walk of life. Whether you Allah, we believe in Allah or Buddha or whatever, there'll always be wrong ones. It's just it's knowing who they are, and it's not about the world is it's so obsessed in labeling people. It's just put a label on everybody, and no, don't put a label on everyone. Tell them what they are, but don't label them. Yes, thank you, Cynthia. Yes, I'm still in hospital. I'll be in hospital for months to come, but I'm in a better frame of mind. I'm over my infection now. I feel a lot better, and I'm better mentally as well.
That's good to hear.
When it first happened to me, I was informed it could be permanent. Well, I still don't know yet. It still may be permanent. It's a bit. Your independence is a big thing to lose, but when you lose your legs, anyway. But, but I'm doing well. Thank you, Cynthia, and thank you everyone who said very kind words. Thank you.
Right, let's just carry on with this video.
For that, and I give Veckel kudos for that. I know a lot of you have issues with Veckel, but in that regard, he was right. Now, could he have been more consistent? That's definitely debatable. I think he could have been more consistent. But at least for that moment, he was willing to rebuke G-Man publicly. So anyone who says that Veckel doesn't rebuke anyone publicly, they would be incorrect. Veckel did rebuke G-Man publicly on my channel in the first video that we did, essentially addressing G-Man. The second one, Drag, you were there. We talked about his behavior over the years, and that did nothing to change him. I mean, he continued slandering us. He made video after video, and to the point where everyone just ignored him. Other than you, you were the only person that just full steam ahead, right? You were having no white flags or peace talks with him, but we all decided we were going to fall back, right? Somehow, I kept getting. I guess he kept trying to pull me back into the discussion somehow, some way. He would continually try to do that, and I wasn't going for it. Because I realized his behavior with us, right? Seeing his behavior with you and other people, I realized that it's twofold. He golds you guys into a response. You give him the response that he's looking for, and then he decides to use that as a tactic to then begin attacking. Not realizing that, well, number one, so everyone understands, I know you guys have had issues. You really began your campaign against G-Man precisely because of G-Man's behavior with us. Right, the way that he was treating his fellow Christian brothers, and you did not like that. You and I had a conversation about that, right? You did not like the way that he treated us as Christians. And
that was summer G-Man, yeah, because specifically it started with how he was treating Jade, right? She was a non-practicing lesbian Catholic, and from there I saw the interaction between him and you all in Shield Squad, and I was like, wow, this is a serious issue. I thought it was just relegated to people he considered non-Christians, atheists and stuff, but no, this is a really big problem with him that, of course, Veckel's not going to say anything about, and other people who just kiss his butt.
What ended up happening was, behind the scenes, we all talked about the issues with G-Man, both collectives, Shield Squad, Soldiers of God. We talked about it, and it's crazy. That whole crazy incident actually helped us come together. We actually came together. And if there was any sort of ill will, we put that aside. We were able to collectively, in many instances, put aside our differences from things that had taken place in the past, precisely because of the G-Man situation, because he decided to attack us. But what really did it for me, Drag, and indeed, you know this, was when I went through my personal situation.
Wait, hang on. Are you telling me that G-Man said anyone who lies is worse than Matt Bell? then guess what? G-Man is worse than Matt Bell.
Everybody
G-Man,
lies.
G-Man, no, I'm coming. G-Man has lied on me, keeps lying on me. G-Man has told people that I said I started thinking at the age of 40, which isn't true. I said that I left Christianity at the age of 40, and G-Man just those words came from him. He said, "Oh, you started thinking at the age of 40." I never said such a thing. Would never utter such a thing. I left Christianity when I was 40 years old. So if leaving Christianity is equivalent of thinking, then unfortunately everyone who is a Christian doesn't think. Everyone who is a Christian is not using their thinking faculties. So G-Man lied, and he's still lying. He's still perpetrating that lie even till this day. So G-Man is worse than Matt Bell. And thank you for telling me this, what G-Man said, because G-Man is worse. Oh my goodness, G-Man is worse than a child predator. Interesting.
See, Jim, he doesn't believe half the crap he peddles anyway. I once saw him on the non sequitur show as a flat earther, debating Freeve, saying he was a flat earther. Then he's not really about God or anything. He goes with the fad. He goes where the popular. He goes where the money is. He goes where he'll be noticed. People want to be noticed. People want to leave a mark on the earth, on the planet. But do you want to leave a mark on the planet like Hitler and be hated, or do you want to help do something for humanity and do something that may help people? And maybe give some nice advice on your channel, G-Man. Now you've got the listeners and the viewers, do something nice for humanity, do something good. There's plenty of people that are doing this now. Cynthia, for example, I watched her the other night, and they actually are interesting, and they're helping people. He doesn't help people. It's all about him and his ego and being noticed. And I understand that some people do want to be noticed and they want to be liked, but to do it a wrong way, a bad way, where you don't contribute anything to humanity or society itself, I find a bit negative, to be fair. And negative humans are always toxic and not very nice. And G-Man, proves this in leaps and bounds that he is not a very nice person. But yeah, I think even his nonsense, he could even debate himself as a flat earther. He was just going through the old rhetoric as they all do. Peabot's right. But yeah, he's just it's all ego, and it's the wrong type of ego. This is like the Trump type of ego, where being recognised isn't enough and never will be enough. There has to be that sort of power as well. But you'll never get power by hating on people. You'll just get hated back. The world's far too nice for haters like G-Man. And unfortunately, it is like that. People are far too nice and accepting of others, even atheists. We accept Christians.
Yes.
It's their own. It's their life. Why should we bother? And the world's far too nice for him to really bother us. So he is very entertaining, really.
Honestly,
he is, isn't he?
he is.
I mean, he gives people a lot of entertainment.
Yeah, and Christianity, after all, is only an ideology. It's just an ideology. It's not. I don't look at Christians and just think, oh, all Christians are evil. No, I will work with Christians. I will have friends. I have friends who are Christians. Doesn't change anything. I don't look at them and think, oh, their beliefs are the last thing I think of. For me, it's more of their character. For me, it's more the relationship that I have with them. Religion is thrown to the corner with nothing to do with religion, right? I deal with the person who I'm looking at without any form of the beliefs or anything. That's just the list of the things that but when your belief starts to encroach on the relationship or the friendship, then we have a problem. Or when you start to want to shove your religion down my throat, no, please, just I don't try to shove atheism down your throat. No, I have a platform where I speak on atheism. But when I deal with my friends, when I deal with those are not conversations that we have unless I'm asked a question about this specific thing. I don't bring it up in because I don't think why should I? These are Christians. They're sold to their beliefs. So why should I come and bother them? Why should I come and stop them from believing what they believe? No, it's not my duty to do that. You know. So
Well, they're the three rules of the bar. Things not to talk about: sport,
religion.
not so much sport, politics, and religion, because it will always end up in a fight when, especially where
Yeah.
alcohol is concerned. And alcohol is obviously a mood enhancer, I like to call it. And it will enhance whatever mood you're in, whether it be anger or happiness. But if it is happiness, it'll soon turn to anger when you're in a debate against someone who thinks differently than you, because everyone's always right, and especially after a few drinks, you're even more right. Which is why G-Man is probably the drunkest man on earth constantly, because
Yes.
he obviously thinks he's right about everything. But
yes.
I don't think that's how I'd like to leave my legacy.
No.
Although I'm going to give my body to medical science and let them let the medical what's in my will. Let the medical
Really?
let them chop me
Oh
up into
wow.
sushi. Well, they learn from
No,
the future, aren't they?
you won't be here. So what? I mean,
Well, yeah, give it to them.
you exactly. You won't be
But
here.
let them learn. I'll even if that is all I do, I've contributed.
Yes.
I've contributed to something, and even
Yeah.
if it's just give my body for medical students to learn
To
from it,
learn.
learn their trade, then that's good. At least I'm not just getting buried
Yeah.
or my ashes scattered on a bit of grass somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Blow away in the wind. It's just pointless. Your body is
Yes.
useful even when it's dead to somebody. So let them use it.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll get that German nutter doctor to plasticize me and turn me into a standing lamp. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Is he
Stand
still
in the
alive?
corner. Well, yeah, he's a German doctor. He had the museum show plasticized.
Yeah, I
body.
remember they had a show on I think
Yeah,
on Channel 4 on one of those crazy.
yeah. I'd have him stuff me and turn me into a lamp.
Okay. Anyway,
Why not?
People Thulu, thank you very much. Honestly, I appreciate the contribution to the channel. I don't get many of these, to be fair, and when I do get them, I am grateful for the contribution to my channel. It means a lot. Honestly,
Yeah,
does. It means a lot.
you go down the pub and buy wine, you lush. I'm
Sorry.
joking. You go down the pub and buy wine.
But
You know, lush.
I don't like wine.
I know you don't.
Unfortunately, I
I'm
don't
joking.
like wine. So People Thulu says only reason that G-Man is not a flat earther is that he's not smart. He's not smart enough to understand the concept of flat earth. Yes, I appreciate. Yes, yes, and
Oh,
says
he didn't know it then. He didn't have a clue by then. But
then
bear in mind, he made such because back then, the non sequitur show was run by Steve McRae and
yeah.
Kyle Cares, as you know. And to get on there, you had to be pretty big. They on there with your Dillahunties and your Ken Harwin, your Aaron Ross and people like that. And big people. I think I can't remember. I think Cynthia done something on the on that show once. I'm not sure. But
Oh,
anyway,
Cynthia, have you seen the latest video of Cynthia? I put it on my channel. Oh my
yes, I
goodness.
saw it. I watched it the other
Cynthia,
day. It's great.
Cynthia was giving this mini lecture about slavery. Oh
Yes.
my goodness, Cynthia, I was just clapping my hands. I was like, yes, sister, do it, just Thank you, Cynthia, for that beautiful, beautiful clip. And
Yeah,
thank you.
Cynthia talks so much she doesn't even remember.
Oh, it's on my channel. So if she cares to know what she said, it's on my channel. People Tulu, thank you very much for the $5 Australian. Say, what are we for? What are we for? Fear. What are we for fear of death? For when we are, death is not. When death has come, we are not.
It's the
We
same.
are not.
It doesn't matter if you're royalty, rich,
No,
poor, wherever.
no,
It's just
no.
we're all on the same journey. At the end
Oh,
of the day,
Cynthia, thank you very much. Get a lemonade for me. I appreciate that,
there'll be a
Cynthia.
vodka in that. No one.
Cynthia, let me tell you, Cynthia, we need to get you here. We need to have a conversation with Cynthia because
Cynthia's wonderful. She really
your
is.
your video went down a treat. People were asking me, where is the full length clip of Cynthia? We want it. So I've had to send them the full length clip of Cynthia just having this
I think it was on the line.
it was on Talk Heathen. That was on Talk
The talk
Heathen.
heathen. It was one
And
of them. Anyway.
today I watched Cynthia did like a uh she was dressed in this costume, I think in preparation for the next show on Talk Heathen. Cynthia, you're one talented woman. You're one talented lady, and wow, just wow. I'm so pleased that I know you. So pleased. You are awesome. I saw you, I was thinking, whoa, just wow. You need to do more of those, Cynthia, in your costume and just talking about what the next show is going to be about. You.
See, so Cynthia is like living proof of what I've been saying.
Yes.
Cynthia will leave this planet leaving a good legacy, a legacy of
Yes.
honesty and truth and intelligence.
Mm.
And that's, I think, how most people would like to go, but obviously they don't, because there is this craving, there is this thing to be, to be recognized, to be, me. We all have it. We've all
Yes.
done it. Look at me. Look, you've done it when your parents look at me, Dad. I'm riding this bike or whatnot. It doesn't matter. There's always that personal thing in everything. But I would like to. I've always said if people have an issue with me, it's their issue. It's not mine. It's got nothing to do with me. But if I could rectify it, I would. And G-Man's got a lot to answer for his attitude towards his fellow human being. And it is all ego. It is all his personal stick of being recognised and noticed. And it's not the way I want. I wouldn't want to go out. Everyone's talking about me. I'm happy. Why would you want to go out like that? You don't think Donald Trump actually sits there thinking, "Oh, I'm loved by everyone." He sits there. He knows he's hated by most of the world, and he knows it. And he puts on this front that, "Oh, everyone loves
victim, like a victim mentality.
G-Man will always have, but he always have that. He'll always have that. That backup defense mechanism of just lashing out, saying, "You hate me." It is. I couldn't think of what's the name said it earlier. He'll straw man something and just change the subject because he doesn't know the answer, and he will say, "Oh, this is because I was black," sort of mentality. It was basically just create a straw man for no reason whatsoever. But that's G-Man. But I don't think I could. I don't want to go out like him. Like yourself, Essie. You're going to leave it. No. You're going to leave a brilliant legacy. Of course you are.
I hope so. I hope so. I hope
doing
so.
what you do.
I hope so.
And I'm glad to be a part of your journey, especially tonight. It's nice.
Thank you. Thank you for joining.
Oh, I like that you had me on your show. I'm not
Oh,
worth. I
thank
don't
you.
think I'm worth it, but I think I
No,
talk a
come
lot of
on.
shit most of the time.
Okay, you know what?
But
Let's
I do like a
hear
laugh.
let's hear a little bit more of this, okay? And then we can end the stream on a very positive vibe. Okay, so let's hear what Christians think of G-Man.
Situation. And Deidre helped organize the GoFundMe.
Mm.
And G-Man refused to send the money that people had because people were wondering about the GoFundMe. All he had to do was promote the GoFundMe.
If you have any questions about that, I just want to clarify something. We made sure that Faithful to God was directly connected to the GoFundMe. So like his funds and everything like that were directly, I didn't filter through anything. Like it went directly to him. It didn't even hit my pocket first.
Right.
And we also made the GoFundMe because GoFundMes have a little more visibility than PayPal does, and it's a little less mysterious. It just seemed like it was more. There's more transparency with that. So with the transparency of knowing that it's Faithful directly attached to it, and it's been clearly explained, and we put me in the middle of it because the thought was that I could be a liaison between the Christian community and the secular community, both, sort of like the happy medium, right? Like it was designed to be accessible and as transparent as possible.
Right. I want this to be on record. G-Man offered up his platform to me back in 2016 when we did our interactions with the Hebrew Israelites. And I will forever be indebted to him for that because at the time I had a very small channel. I did not have many subscribers. I may have had like 150, 200 subscribers at most. Now I have 5,000, which is not that much, in the grand scheme of things, but it's still, it's a little something. So I will always shout him out for offering up his platform when we would interact with Hebrew Israelites. But I cannot sit back and pretend as if he has not done things that have made me question his integrity or his, how can I say this? Because I want to be very careful with my words here. It has made me question his, I don't want to say that I don't believe he's a Christian. I believe that he is a person who probably should fall back from doing any sort of apologetics ministry and focus on bettering himself.
Wow.
I think that he needs to better himself in how he interacts with people, especially if he's going to, if he wants to proselytize people into right belief. I think he should be a good representative of that viewpoint.
That's
You
right.
can't tell people that your belief is the belief while then exhibiting extremely poor
Like
behavior. Because
Right.
people are going to associate the belief with you. It's, if they know nothing about the belief, the first thing that's going to come to mind is your attitude. That's going to be their impression of the faith. And to me,
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just going to add something with that.
Yeah, I was just going to say very quickly, G-Man that's why I call him a poor representative of the faith. His approach, his attitude, his inability to introspect, to correct mistakes. And when I say correct mistakes, it's not that he hasn't apologized to people because he has apologized, but he apologizes in a very strange way. Drag, if you
really
very quickly, and then we'll let
No, this was 2 years
Could you
ago.
explain to people G-Man's form of apologizing to people?
Yeah, listen to this, guys.
How he typically goes about apologizing.
The way he apologizes.
Or
I
Deidre,
was
if you
in
want
the
to.
flesh.
So
that's what he says all the time. He starts with, "I was in the flesh."
Yeah, I was in the flesh. Or, I'm sorry for what I did, but Faithful or so-and-so or this person, you need to apologize to me for what you said to me. So it's always like, I apologize, but you need to apologize. So it's like, well, I'll only apologize as long as I know you're apologizing, which is like, wait a minute, how does that work? If you offended someone, why do they need to apologize to you? Makes no sense.
There's no apology.
But you were going to say, Deidre, you were going to add on to what I said about poor behavior?
So like, I worked in church for like 15 years, and whether or not you consider me a Christian now or whatever, like, fine. Like, do I meet all the essentials according to the Bible? The answer is no. The answer is no. I'm probably a Christian deist at this point. But you and I have had this conversation, and that, I kind of wrestle with it. That I really want Christianity to be true. Like I do have that leaning. But when I worked in church, I had the deepest sincerity. I really did. And when one of the
Okay.
things that we would do, I was in
Wow.
charge of at my church. I was in charge of
Okay. My
outreach
internet
and
is
youth
just
ministry.
Really sketchy.
And
Mm-hmm.
with outreach, what was interesting is you'd have these baby Christians, people that would really struggle. Talk about living in the flesh, people that were like, I really want to believe, but I really struggle with a bunch of stuff. And you wouldn't put them as a role model or a preacher, but these people could still do service to God and still because like people badly want to. Christians really sincerely, even if they have poor behavior, there's a lot of Christians that sincerely want to serve God in some way. And I do agree with people like, the whole, better yourself and study and stuff like that. But
Better
preaching and
yourself.
being the leader is a lot more weight on responsibility, or even being a deacon in a church, stuff like that. You have a lot more accountability and responsibility that's weighing on you constantly. But you can serve God in other ways. Like there is so much service that you can do, whether it's serving in like a soup kitchen, whether he has handyman skills, like he could do handyman skills
That-
for seniors
That's
that can't do it
humanism.
themselves now. Like there's so much stuff that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you have the time, if you have the desire, to be a servant,
Mm-hmm.
that the Bible talks about someone as being a servant of all.
Servant.
There's so much opportunity for
Why
that.
does serving in a
Look
soup kitchen
so
have
many
to be
different ways.
You
serving
know,
God?
Build
you
a
have
house
to be
for somebody.
serving God. Why?
Why has that
Slavery.
anything to do with God? I mean, someone
You're
cooked
right.
the soup. God didn't cook it.
No.
Correct.
Just to be nice to
Correct.
someone doesn't mean you're serving God. I mean, you're just
No.
a nice
Nope.
person.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Why
that's why you can be good without
Without
God.
God, yeah.
If
It
you
has to
need
do with
Exactly.
humanism.
if you need God to be a good
To a
person,
good
then
person,
you are
that's
not
God.
a good person.
Nope.
See,
You are
this is
not
where
a
You're
you
good
not a
get
good
you.
person.
This is where you get you. It's things like that. It's the small print that you don't see. Because you're working in a soup kitchen, you're serving God. No, I'm not. I'm serving this poor guy who's hungry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with a God.
I'm not
Yeah,
doing it for me
nothing.
either. I'm doing it for this guy
Correct.
who's hungry.
To help the guy.
Because
Yeah.
I want
Exactly.
to. I have it. He doesn't.
Oh
It's
boy.
crazy.
Yeah, that's where they
Absolutely
catch you. You
crazy.
see.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. Anyway,
Mhm.
I'm going to have to go soon because I've got
Mhm.
my three young girls here
Mhm.
Yes.
who today have occupied my time, and because of them I came late to the stream, but they've had a lovely time. They wanted to spend a sleepover with auntie. They've had one sleepover already, and tonight they're still awake waiting for me to tell them a story. So
Mhm.
as much as I would love to carry on being here, there are four youngsters,
Are you going to
all
tell them
below.
Are you going to tell them a mythical horror story or
No, not a
a
horror
mythical nice
story.
story?
I'm still trying to figure out what story I
So
want
the
to tell them.
the New Testament. Then.
No, please no. Come on.
The Old
You think I'm
Testament is a
trying to
horror story.
you think I'm trying to scare these children? No. No. So one more night of a sleepover and they get a story before they go to bed. And tomorrow, trust me, by 1 o'clock, 2 p.m., they are back in their homes and I'm back here. It's been intense. If I had $1 for every time my name was called, I would be a multi-millionaire right now. All day
Oh
today,
God.
it's been, Auntie, can I have this? Auntie, can we do this? Auntie, can we go there? Auntie, can we? It's just been non-stop. But I've loved every moment of it. I took them to the park so we could go and feed the ducks in the pond. They completely enjoyed that. So they're waiting for me. I thought they would be fast asleep. It turns out they're all waiting because Auntie promised a story. So let me go and do my auntie duties and but before we round up, I just want you all to just have a few moments of just speaking what you think about hypocrisy in Christianity. G-Man reveals the hypocrisy in Christianity. Look, I would rather that Christians just live their lives. Just be you. I don't want to be the judge of any Christian. I don't want to sit here and judge
Mhm.
anyone, because guess what? I'm not perfect myself. I
Yeah.
do make mistakes.
None
I
of
do
us.
do things wrong, right? But I will own up to my mistakes. I would
Mhm.
say, yes, I made this mistake, and I will put my hands up and own up to my mistake, right? I don't have to
Yeah.
be a hypocrite about things. I don't have to pretend. I don't have to hide behind this umbrella of religion. I'd rather
Facade.
just
Yeah.
be a facade. I would rather just be myself. I wouldn't want anyone who is my friend to back me up when I'm doing wrong. You come and back me.
Mhm.
Please don't do that, because
Yeah.
you're going on further to support bad behavior. How will I learn if you're here backing up my bad behavior in
Mhm.
the name of friendship, in the name of religion, right?
Mhm.
Let's call out
Yeah.
what is bad. If it's bad, let's call it out. Forget religion. It's absolutely crazy that we will support people because they share the same religion as us, they share the same beliefs as us. It just makes me think, if there is a God, he doesn't exist, because people are here supporting what is wrong in the name of his religion, and he sits
Mhm.
there and does nothing.
Mhm.
G-Man is out here threatening to kill people and somehow still thinks that he is a Christian. If I was God, I would tell G-Man to his face, I want nothing to do with you. You are going to hell. If G-Man goes to heaven, then I know that something is wrong. If there is a heaven,
Mm.
I don't believe in heaven, don't believe in hell,
Mm.
don't believe in God, don't believe in Satan, don't believe in all these things. But if there
Right.
ever was one and G-Man finds his way there, then I know that no, I will personally pull out all these videos for that God and say, look what your G-Man did. G-Man is not
Mhm.
deserving of heaven. He deserves, if there is a hell, he deserves to be in the hottest part of that hell. Unless he
Mhm.
apologizes to all the people he threatened to kill, all the
Yeah.
people he has doxed, all the people he
Lots.
has done all these evil things. And to think
Mhm.
he he will call other Christians, that he will tell other Christians that they are not Christians. Unfortunately, G-Man, you are not a Christian. You point your fingers at others, and you think
But
that
for
you don't want nobody pointing fingers at you. I'm pointing my fingers at you because you dare to do that. And guys, guess what's going to happen after this? There will be a video made in my name.
mm,
And
Well,
the tendency is G-Man is going to dox
yeah,
me. He's going to go looking for my
yeah,
private information that I've never revealed on this
built on
platform,
platform.
and he's
Mhm.
going to reveal it. And when he does that, I will be
They
sure
call
to
them out.
come. No, I don't. I will come and show it to you all so you can see what
Mhm.
Christianity is
Anti.
all
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
When they cannot
But
argue with you,
there.
when
Yeah.
they cannot face you in conversation, they would
Mhm.
rather go to personal attacks, ad
Mhm.
hominems,
Ad
and
hominems.
just become evil creatures.
Nasty.
Very nasty. So yes, G-Man, go ahead, go looking for my private information, and I hope you find what you're looking for in response to this video, because I know it's going to come. It's going to try and reveal everything there is about me. It's a good job.
Yeah.
I'm not a bad person. So
Mhm.
reveal all you want about me. And I hope that you enjoy it as you do it. But the more you do it, the more you prove to us that Christianity is nothing but a vile religion,
Mhm. Yeah.
evil religion. The fact that G-Man speaks for Christianity shows me that Christianity is nothing but fake, evil,
Mhm.
and just wicked.
Wicked. Mhm. Yeah.
Sorry, I was going
Totally
off in a
agree.
rant.
No, no, no. That's okay. That's great. That's wonderful. Because you have to call out the evils of Christianity. I mean, no, and they know from experience how that goes. So yeah, no, you're not wrong in doing that at all. And it's sad. It is sad that people, the thing is, they will say they have support from their Bible, which usually they do. Because I always say he's no different to when Jeremiah to curse the children
Was that
for
Jeremiah or
making
Isaiah?
is Jeremiah make sport
Jeremiah.
of
Oh,
Jeremiah,
wow.
and he cursed them, and the bear came and eat them. That's what the Old Testament says, and it gives glory to that. To little children who makes fun of the so-called prophet of God. So it is nasty. It's nasty. It's a nasty religion.
It is.
It is.
Christianity is a
And
nasty
I am not
religion.
buttering it up. It's nasty.
Yes.
It's a hate cult.
It's a hate cult. So all
But-
the talk about one or love, and usually when it says love thy neighbor, neighbor is normally in the context of the Bible. Neighbor is your those that belong to your group.
Well, this is it.
Not really.
At the end of the day, the average ejaculation of a human male is 80 billion sperm. And each and every one of us here won that great egg race out of 80 other billion sperms. When we won that, and we're here, and what you wanted, what you tend to do with your life after that is, this is where your free will kicks in. It's entirely up to you what you want to do with your life. You can look ahead and plan it, or you can look back, wishing I'd done this, wishing I'd done that. Be miserable. You can be crap. You can be argumentative. You can look at a book for help rather than look at people around you who want to help you. You can do, this is your free will. This is your will. You can do what you want with your life. It's the choices that define you. It's the choices that make you, and this is it. It's not what you are on the outside. What you do for people, it's what you are on the inside that defines you as a person, and what you think and what you do, and what you say to people, and how you treat others. If you want your advice from a book, a 2,000-year-old tome of nonsense, the Hong Kong Book of Holy Fu, you can do that. But if you but if you want to interact with humanity and be a contributing member of society, I think that's a great way to be. It's a great way, even if it's just in your local. As I said earlier, we go around with blinkers on, and I'm glad we go around with blinkers on. We know crap happens around the world. We know shit happens. We know there's shit horrible people. There's people who are horrible to each other. There's people dying for no reason at all. It is horrible. It's a horrible world, and I'm glad we all go around with blinkers on, because if we knew the full. If we knew everything about it and thought about it all the time, this world would not be a very nice place to live on. And it is. And we all have our own things to deal with. I mean, look what I'm going through my own crap at the moment. I'm to deal with paraplegia, but that's just me. I'll deal with that. But it will still not change who I am mentally as a person. And I want to help others out, and if I've got it, I will give it away, and things like that. But I'd like to thank everyone. I'd like to thank the chat for being here, and we had a laugh. I had a laugh. It was nice. It takes my mind off a lot of things. This sort of thing. Thinking about something else. And I love you guys. I'm going to mute.
Love you too, dog.
And thank you for all the kindness sent from everybody here.
Dog.
Definitely.
Dog, you know that we love you. Absolutely love you.
Love
you. We are here with you every step of the way while you're
absolutely. You're very kind. Everything. I know that. And I do love you all.
Yeah.
That's good. And Phil, we love you as well.
Yep. I love you all.
Phil may not say it, but Phil has been through a lot. Phil had 2 heart attacks.
2 heart attacks. One just on top of the other.
In the last few months? Not
February.
Not gone. and you're still in recovery, you're
Mm-hmm.
still having a smile on your face,
Yeah.
and still just doing what you do. And
Yeah,
I
and trying to share love and help
exactly,
everybody and help people get out of the shit
exactly,
that religion has created.
yes. And I appreciate what you do
Thank
100%.
you. Yeah, and we appreciate
You
what
have
you do
helped
too.
me. You've helped me, even though remotely. We've
Mm-hmm.
never met, but you have helped me,
Yeah,
a lot of things, and you know what I'm talking about.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
thank you very much. And for those people who say to me, "Oh, but G-Man is low hanging fruit. Why do you bother to show about G-Man?" I show G-Man because G-Man is the way not to be.
Yep.
G-Man is the epitome of what I left behind.
Yeah,
This is a
definitely.
religion that I left behind. And G-Man shows me every time I see him that I am thankful that I had the knowledge, that I found the evidence to
Mm-hmm.
prove that Christianity is nothing but fake, nothing but
It's a failure.
a failure, and nothing but
It's a failure.
a man-made concept.
Yeah, man-made concept. Yeah, from the very beginning.
Well, obviously, people to get recognised will just be triggering because it's the only way they can do it. They're not enigmatic in themselves, and they're not, they're not overtly forward or there's no presence with some people. Some people you will never notice. And the only way they can be noticed is by being nasty and horrible. G-Man is one of them people,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately. But
Yeah.
He
but
is.
but to portray an intelligence, you need, or to try and protect, you actually need to have the intelligence to throw across and throw forward. G-Man has got neither, so it just
Yeah.
makes him more horrible. But
Yes.
as I say, I wouldn't see him down and out. Of course, I wouldn't.
And
But then,
I'm
could you
gonna
trust a man?
no, no, no.
Yeah, you never trust
I'm
an e-bagger.
I'm gonna say this here. There's some people who say to me, "Oh, we don't like G-Man, and we don't want him to, we don't want you doing the G-Man content." Unfortunately, I am hooked to the G-Man content, right? Because he
Mm-hmm.
proves to me every single time I see him the reason why I am not a Christian. He proves that to me. Don't forget that I am a fairly new atheist, about 3 years since coming away from religion.
Mm-hmm.
So, pardon me on this channel if I do a G-Man content from time to time. Pardon me, because you know, uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh, he's out here speaking on behalf of Christianity, and so I I from time to time will bring him on here when I'm not doing my content from Africa.
Yeah.
There was a video, guys. I would suggest please go and look at the last video I put out before this one. The last video. This happened just a few days ago. A pastor was beating the members of his church. He got a cane and was beating them.
Wow.
Beating them. He's since been arrested. So my next stream is going to be about that,
Mm.
about abuse in
Abuse in
churches.
churches.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness! I watched that video and I cried. My
Oh God.
nieces were saying, my nieces went and got me tissue, and said, "Auntie, why are you crying?" I said, "Well, this thing is a bit too much."
Mm-hmm.
But sadly, this is what goes on in churches.
Well, that's because religion is all about control and fear. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Control and fear.
Yeah. That's it.
And
And keeping you in a guilt
or
trips.
yeah, or control through fear. Either
Yeah.
or.
Yes.
Control through fear. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
All
what
it
do
is.
you, what, what mind state do you have to be in for you to walk forward to a pastor with a cane in his hand, ready to
You
beat
know.
you? What?
If-
How?
in a
What is
fearful
going
mindset.
through the minds of these people who believe in Jesus?
It's a fearful
It's fear.
mindset, sadly.
Does this not show you that Jesus doesn't care? Jesus
Doesn't
doesn't
care.
bother because Jesus does nothing. He
Yeah.
would watch. So Jesus would watch people be abused in his name and does nothing.
Is divine hiddenness. And that's one of the biggest arguments against the truth of Christianity, or so-called truth of Christianity. The divine hiddenness.
And that's
Sit
why
back and watch. Don't
that's why
do nothing.
that's why we can't stop. We can't stop.
Correct.
We have to keep on at it,
Yeah.
preaching the message of atheism.
Oh,
critical,
Would
and
you
critical
would you not
thinking,
would you not
skepticism,
rather
critical thinking,
someone is an atheist than be beaten in
and be
church?
beaten in church?
Yeah,
Someone to be humanist.
fortunately, religion is dying, but it's generations away from disappearing.
And that's why they're coming so hard now, trying to
it's
create
no
theocracies.
actual trouble at all. Religion is in no actual trouble at all.
But you see, the problem is
The apologetics will still pump out the same old rhetoric, the same old worn down philosophy that doesn't work. I don't believe philosophy belongs in religion at all. I think it's a binary question which cannot be shown or proven. What's the point? I know for the goal of philosophy that there is no right or wrong answer. Well, how can you have no right or wrong answer if there's no evidence to the fact? It doesn't philosophy doesn't belong there, but it's their way of muddying the waters and making these people try and think, but only a stupid person will think. And as you said, I'm 43 years out of religion, and atheism still affects me to this day.
Hang on, 43 years.
I was 10, and it still affects me. Atheism. I'm still not happy with my atheism, and I'm still religious, and that will be with me forever.
So there's a comment here which I wanted to make sure I don't pass at all. I need to. Soren says, I had to walk my neighbor's diabetic dog. Look, for me, this is it. This is it. You're irrespective of what you believe or don't believe. Someone asked me, what is the essence of your life now that you are no longer a Christian? I don't need Christianity to have essence in my life. I just told you, right? So in the next room, there are 4 children waiting for me to come tell them a story. I would delight so much happiness in going there and telling them that story.
Yeah.
To see the smiles on their faces. After they're done listening to my story, they will go to sleep, and just knowing this morning when I woke up to my my sister's twins waking me up.
Well,
There's nothing as beautiful as that.
That's the cure right there, Esther, is the children. And for a grown up, for a parent to make the world a better place for their children, can only do it good. But you know, where religion is concerned, and a lot of these people, especially if you're born into money and that, you know, you'll be bought into that hatred type of thing, and you'll be born into that fear, and you will continue that, where they don't care about making the world a better place because they're already going to a better place. They've been told, or they're made to believe this, but it's always in the children. And you know, making the world a better place is a great contribution to make to it, or even if it's just your little space, and making it safer and less toxic, and take away the racism and the crap that goes with life. Just making it better for the kids.
Yes.
And making them aware, educate them what you're doing, and so they'll pass it on with their children.
Yes.
it can only be good. It can only be better. But
I mean, look at
that's a dream. That will always be a dream. It'll never
exactly.
happen.
I mean, look at Cynthia. I see pictures on Facebook of her and the young
Yeah,
little
and
little
have
man.
mhm.
Oh, adorable!
Adorable. Yeah.
Absolutely adorable. You know, and for me, this is it. This is meaning. This is life, right?
Yes.
Someone asked me, "Well, what? How do you find meaning in your life?" I'm thinking, hang on. I'm a mother of 2 children. I gave birth to those 2 boys
Mhm.
right from my vagina. I
Mhm.
birthed those 2 children. They are the meaning of my life. They give me the source, or they are the source of my happiness. I live for them. How dare you ask me what is the essence of my life?
Life.
Because I don't
You make
believe in
your
your God,
own,
you ask
you
me the
know?
essence of my life. Look at Soren. Soren is, can you imagine? Soren is out of his, you know, little comfort, walking his neighbor's
There's dog.
diabetic
I
dog.
take dog. Yeah.
And you know what dogs are like. They
Helping
will see
people.
you. Dogs are, they will show you love. They will, you know, dogs are just beautiful, beautiful animals, right? And you do that for a dog. And then these people live in fear of a deity that doesn't exist, a deity
Yeah.
that tells them that they are evil, a deity that
Mm-hmm.
prepares hell, ready to punish them. Why do
Yeah.
you worship that
And
kind of deity?
and deity that tells this story to children and they don't obey.
Please
But
no.
when you look at people and you see some children have a very short life, sadly, and some of them are horrific because people are putting cigarettes out on them. The
Mm-hmm.
guardians are putting cigarettes out on them, constantly beating them, starving them, and you see this, and it's one of the most. Let's say this is the reason we go around it with blinkers on, because we like to ignore that sort of stuff, but we know it happens. But as I say, it's all about education. It's all about teaching children things,
Yes.
and some
Mm-hmm.
adults need educating as well. They do need
Oh
educating.
yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
They get rid of the dangerous people like the anti-vaxxers that are a clear present danger to humanity. They will.
Yes.
That movement gets so big and big that there's people.
The critical
Measles
thinking.
deaths in America have risen by over 400%.
Measles.
Measles, mumps, and
I thought
rubella
I
are
thought we
all
had eradicated all these things.
They're all killer diseases.
I
But
thought we had
because
eradicated all these things.
absolutely, we never eradicated them, but
Totally eradicate, but
we got, it was well under control. But
yeah,
the death, and these are killer diseases. Measles, mumps, and
yes,
they will kill
and
youngsters.
polio.
Polio's back. They're all back.
Polio is a crippling disease.
They're all coming back because people
Yeah,
won't have
because
their
these
injection.
anti-vaxxers refusing to inject immunize their children, and they're doing more harm to the children
Damn
than good.
Absolutely.
Because they deny the science, because they deny critical thinking, they deny proper rational skepticism. That's the main thing. So we need to promote and continue promoting skepticism,
Yes.
reasoning, actually for the young children to hear, so that they too don't continue the cycle.
Yes.
America have almost stepped back to the dark ages
Yeah, they're
with their
stepping back.
with their quashing of women's rights and the women's right to choose over their own body. I mean, next they'll be burning witches again. The influence in religion is actually frightening. Of what the influence of religion in American society does, it is frightening, and it is this severe lack of education, not just in America, it's worldwide, that causes this, this for this bit of power, this bit of greed. And it makes you wish sometimes just for a socialist society. it's just, you know, everyone is the same, everyone earns the same, everyone gets the same, everyone does the same. We all eat the same. It might be a bit boring and a bit utopian, but it is, or dystopian, I should say. Sorry, but it you know, it will stop this nonsense of the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer and the uneducated getting nothing.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
education and children are the key, and teaching them, and it's important too. You know, you got these rednecks that'll teach their kids, you know, racism and things like that, and how to beat up and how to maim, and it's just it's a horrible world we live in.
Yeah.
But but we've had such a nice time. I don't want to get too dark over, you know. It's getting a bit dark now over, you know.
Yes, and listen, Doug.
Life is a challenge. Let's just say
exactly.
Yeah,
And
face it head on, guys.
That's it.
Face it.
Head
That's
on.
it.
Yeah.
Head on, absolutely.
Face head
And
on.
Doug, you know we love you. Phil, you know we love you and Karen,
Yeah.
absolutely. And listen, without atheism, we would never have met.
Yeah.
Atheism
True.
brought us together.
Yeah.
So thank the God of atheism.
Thanks, the flying space monkeys.
And Soren, thank you very much for what you're doing. Cynthia,
Yes.
thank you very much for stepping in and, you know,
Mhm.
just doing what you do. We appreciate, and
Yes.
all of you, Carnival say, all of you, Adia's place. Did you hear her? She said she doesn't have kids, but what she does have, she has plants. She waters them. She nurtures them.
And nurse.
Can you imagine that she is? Look, apart from human life, she's promoting plant life.
Yeah.
This is those, you know, plants. There's some plants they will live longer than we. After we are long gone, they're still here. You know, so
and providing
Adia's,
oxygen for us, removing
Yes.
carbon dioxide from the air.
yes.
Love your plants, please.
Steve
actually
McRae,
believe
Steve McRae manager. He's awesome. He's amazing guy. Lilith, all of you. In fact, atheism brought us together. Oh,
I seriously believe that that, you know, the way we treated this planet and whatnot, that someone here in this chat and in this show, whether it might be us, will actually witness a serious event that will devastate humanity. That will devastate humanity.
Yes.
Whether it be through global warming, climate change, or just whatever, nuclear war, there's something will happen. It has to boil over soon. There's no stock market crashes. There hasn't been for a while. So people are getting priced out of the market. You know, first time buyers can't buy stuff anymore because you know, people rely on them booms and busts in the market to you know, to survive, to be able to buy a new property and keep the market, you know, ticking over as it should. But the rich are just getting too rich now, where they have, you know, we've got the UK, whole of UK is in crisis at the moment. We've got this massive trebled energy increase that's coming in the next couple of months in the UK, which people will die over the winter. People will die over the winter because they can't afford to keep warm. And this is the way the world is working. Something needs to happen. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it's not too devastating, and it's not the people we know. I don't want anyone to die, but there is an event coming, and
oh, please no.
We you know, human beings, we always live by kick up the arse to learn. No, we never look.
Hang on, it's coming in October. What is coming in October?
Well, you know, your energy prices are going to treble in October.
Oh.
Literally treble, Esther, and I mean it. They will treble. So what
Oh,
if you're
wow.
paying £50 a month now? It'll be £150 a month in October.
I'm already struggling with fuel prices and energy prices.
A lot of people are.
But
Well,
never mind.
But
Let's not
you gotta press on.
let's not put
and-
fear into anyone's. We'll take one
Right,
day at a
day
time.
at a time,
Together,
yeah.
together we will do
And
this.
Yeah,
yeah.
but when I say it's good to have blinkers about certain things, but there's stuff that you need to know and need to act on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we sat in the background done nothing about this for you know.
No.
Back in the 80s and the 70s, even they were talking about CFC
Okay.
gases.
My nieces.
Yeah, they're getting. Let's end it now, yeah, because it's getting a bit antsy now, a bit dark and depressing. It's sad, really. Should be living in the Caribbean on the beach with you, Phil. Cooking up big mouth bass on a barbie, throwing a frisbee, and drinking a margarita, or Bahama Mama. Bahama Mama.
Oh boy, I tell you. But it's but you see, even then too, yeah, we still got some beaches, but we're still dealing with the issue of the climate change, issue of high sea level rise, and so on. But we got to do what we have to do, and governments need to take it seriously, especially. But as we know, it's a struggle. There are people that are fighting against it, saying it's not real, but we have to keep pushing and pushing the facts and the data and the even emotional stuff to get people to do what they need to do. So on that note.
Okay, guys, I need to go.
Yeah.
It's nearly midnight. I want to try and read the story. Wow. Oh gosh,
Yeah,
another one. Another person's here now.
Stream, so
okay, just a minute. Oh yes, please. Can you put the link to the stream that you're going to in a second, please, Phil?
F is Neil 604 Atheist. Once you look,
so Neil 604 Atheist.
Neil the 604
Neil
Atheist.
I'm gonna write it down.
Yeah, I can. Let me.
Yeah, if you can put the link. So Phil is going to be telling his
sharing the
deconversion story.
Deconversion story. So please, guys, go over there and go and check it out.
I was on there a few months ago. Didn't mind.
I was there as well, but it's been a while now.
Neil's good.
He's great.
Neil's good. He's wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be in the background, Phil, and watch that, mate.
That's cool. That's great. 604.
Oh gosh, Adia's spaces. It will get worse as the cold time goes in.
Absolutely.
Never mind.
Got it.
One day at a time. We'll be all right. Don't worry, we'll be all right.
Oh, it's here actually, the notification. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to send the actual
going on soon, within the next hour or so.
Yeah, next hour.
Hour and a half.
By 8 o'clock. By 8 o'clock my time, bitches. And
he'll send you the link on Twitter, mate.
Okay.
So I just sent it there.
Okay, so it's in fantastic.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so those of you, if you're still awake, if you're still about looking for something to watch, please, in an hour and a half, please go and watch Phil's deconversion story. He has an awesome deconversion story. Doug, did you say you've been on there, right?
I was on Neil's show, a few months ago.
I would love to go and watch it. I haven't seen your deconversion story.
Yes, you was. You were there.
Was I?
Yes, you was. You were in the chat, you nutter.
Was
Oh, yeah.
I?
Yeah, you maniac.
Don't forget. No, listen. It must have been the middle of the night. So I was
Oh,
probably
yeah.
in
In
between
between.
being asleep and
Yeah,
being awake.
it was late. It was about. It was
Mhm,
about.
mhm.
It
Yeah,
was
that
about.
would be 1
It's
o'clock.
about this time now. Yeah,
Okay.
because
Around 1
he's a
o'clock.
few hours
All right.
Yeah.
behind us,
So
isn't he?
Phil, here you
Yeah.
go. Adia's place. Oh, great. I will join you there, Phil.
Great.
And if I'm still awake, I shall be there.
And there's also a after show afterwards.
Just count me out for
Yeah,
after show.
yes.
Count me out. I'll be
After
completely
party as
out.
well.
Yeah, you'll be completely out.
Yes. Anyway, guys, thank you very much,
Thank
and
you.
please
Thank you, everyone.
be better. Do better. You don't need religion to be a good
Nope.
person. You don't need a god to be a good person. You only need to look at a person like G-Man,
Mhm.
who even when people have come out to help him, he still turns around and stabs those people in the back.
Yeah.
G-Man is what you call
Mhm.
how not to be a Christian.
Mhm.
If
Mhm.
G-Man is Christianity, then unfortunately Jesus died for a wrong cause. There was no point in Jesus dying. If what G-Man stands for is Christianity, then the whole Jesus narrative is just useless. There really is no point. I don't rubbish the G-Man. I don't know him from anywhere, but he puts his life out there on the YouTube, so we can go ahead and have a look and review. He even his friends Shani and Rev won the Law Cow Award of the Year. He
Mm.
bought that award off them because he was thinking he would be the Law Cow of the Year. So he knows that his character is nothing to write home about. He knows that, but he's still out there just being a vile Christian. And we are here. We will review. We will review the content. And I'm sure he will do a stream about me in the next couple of days or hours or whatever. And I'll be
Well,
sure to check it out. So
well,
thank you very much, everyone.
I think it's
Thank
irrelevant
you.
whether he's a Christian or not. He's just a shit human being.
He is. He is.
Mhm.
He is. He is.
And he doesn't have to
Okay.
be hypocritical about scripture, because the scripture is hypocritical about scripture itself. Doesn't need him to do it. He's just a shit person. And needs a kick in the plums.
He does. And he says, G-Man knows me. Of course he does. He does.
He
He
needs to
knows
give
me.
his head. He needs to give his head a wobble, wind
Mhm.
his neck in a little bit, and say, look at your life, G-Man. If that's the only way you can get attention is by being an absolute turd of a person, then do that. But
Mm.
don't. I personally, I don't think he deserves any time of day. This is why
True.
I come on to protect you, Esther. Make sure
Yeah, I
you
know.
don't get too upset.
Thank you.
That,
Thank
man.
you very
Uh,
much. And Dog, you know that G-Man, from time to time, I like to switch it up a bit. Tomorrow, the other few days to come, we will be on to a different subject, because
He'd probably
Christianity
say something
is,
about
is,
all of
is
us.
evil. G-Man or not.
Mhm.
G-Man or not.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. G-Man hate cult. But
It is a hate cult.
G-Man is a hateful cult. Oh, sorry,
Yes.
it should have changed the L for an N.
Anyway, guys, thank you very
Yeah.
much. Let me go tell my story. I've just gone on the internet and typed bedtime story for kids. So I've got one
Mhm.
already, which I think would be nice. So let me go read the story, and I will pretend that it was my story, right? Don't say anything. Don't say I told you.
Make something up.
No, listen, it's too late in the night to be making something up.
Making
My
some
brain isn't going to.
brain in
So
there.
I'll just go on the internet and just steal a story on there and pretend
No,
it's my story.
there was I don't know. There was an elephant and a snake and walking through the jungle. You just they meet different things. You do all the noises and then say go to sleep, or I'll
Okay.
beat you up. like Jesus did.
Okay. All right, guys. Everyone, good night.
Mhm.
And
Good night, everyone.
see you
Good night,
tomorrow.
everyone.
Good night. Let's see.
Bye.
Where's our